Sean Hart. Fletcher on Lynch.
Wellman up on the wing, almost at half forward.
Bang, the umpire puts it down and up goes the players, and it's Barnes. He went to hand pass to Smoke and Joe Stacks on the mill. He said no, play on. He's got his whistle there now. Throw the blanket over 16 players, and that's a typical start to a grand final.
Voss, who's got Voss in the middle of the ground? Looks like Heffernan might have the job with him.
Jacobs in the back pocket playing on Bradshaw.
So umpire Scott McLaren, the chemist. Bang, he put it down beautifully. Barnes got one in the back, but it was knocked out by Keating. Little boy Hart was clean bowled. Over the top ground, high tackle, it was on Jason. And Jason Johnson has got it at centre half back. He's got runners out on the wing position, and he's got Barnes. Barnes marks it, runs to the emblem. He takes a bounce, he runs to half forward on the left boot. Long ball down Moorcroft. Has marked it. That is desperation. That's a grand final mark. He mightn't have taken it 6 weeks ago. He's taken a beautiful mark, horizontal, unlike the one he took as high as Joe Cocker.
Needs to settle down, Rex, and go back and have a shot. He'll kick from about 48 metres out, 45-degree angle, will suit his left foot.
And as you boys forecast, Mal Michael on already.
Yeah, well, they've brought Michael on. I think you'll see that White will come back up the ground and take Hurt again now.
A minute and a quarter in. Moorcroft on the right half forward flank, kicks a long ball towards Alessio and punched away by Keating for the first score on the new Ream Integrity scoreboard today. The 2001 Grand Final, the Bombers are a point. Lions yet to score.
Keating got to be aware of Barnes backing out of packs at stop plays and getting out on his own. He's just got to be smart about that and realise he's playing on an unconventional ruckman.
Chris Johnson to bring it back into play. The last bridge from the merger. He was the only player who survived the merger to reach the grand final. Elster Lynch went north before the dying days of Fitzroy. Johnson back into play, very wide kick, bounces to Lloyd, kicks Essendon into the pocket, wide of Moorcroft.
Very nervous.
Boundary throw in.
They are very nervous, player.
Yeah, well, it'll just take them a while to settle, so long as they don't get hurt on the scoreboard just while they're settling.
Now, goal square unguarded from this throw-in, 30 around from the Bombers' goal, so if they can take it and kick quickly, it could bounce through. Ball tossed in, Alessio and Keating. Keating in front, wins it down. Bouncing ball, Moorcroft. Handball out, Mercedes can't trap it. Brad Scott gets in the back of a Bomber. Ball goes to ground, they dive in. A bounce 45 out from the Essendon goal.
Marcus Astroff playing in a back pocket for Brisbane. His opponent, Dean Rioli.
And Heffernan, who's on Voss, is trying to drag Voss back towards the Essendon goal square at every opportunity. Voss has got a decision to make. Do I go with him or do I stay in the contest?
Brad Scott giving Hurd no room from the bounce. One down to Hurd, brought down by his shadow Scott. Voss takes it. Good handball to Chris Johnson. Dinky with a left foot kick, bounces wide. It's over for a throw-in once more. 60 metres around for the Bomber goal. Brisbane free kick. Ackermanis, the Brownlow medalist, put down by Ramanauskas.
Yeah, and gave him one to go on with, and Ramanauskas took the bait over the top. Ackermanis, he's got it out there to Luke Power. Power kicks a long ball left half forward flank, looking down there for Brown. He can't get it. He was clean bowled. This is Blumfield, who over the top, Carousel, a hand pass, but little boy Hart intercepted it and has given it out, and Lynch is there. Free kick to Lynch. Taken high by Fletcher. Oh, Lynch should score a goal here. What a dream start.
I reckon it was fair enough by Fletcher. He realised he'd been done. It was a great kick by Hart. He knew that Lynch was going to take the mark, so he might as well try and make him earn it. So I reckon that's fair enough.
Great kick by Sean Hart. He went to pass it to Lynch. There's a bit of push and shove in the middle of the ground, Bondi.
Yeah, the Scots involved. I see Chrissy Scott out there on with Rioli. Rioli's there, Marcus Ashcroft, Darryl White. Umpire's got it under control.
Kicked a lot of goals this year, Lynch. How many? 56 goals he's kicked. He's on the right half forward flank towards the right pocket. No angle to speak of, and he has kicked. He's pulled it, I reckon. He's pulled it to the left. Now that's got to be nerves, because he's a dead-eye Victorian. And we have drawn 4 minutes in the grand final this year, and the Lions and Essendon are tied up at one behind each of two. New Ream Integrity scoreboard.
Fletcher wastes no time, has a loose man on half back. Lucas, who marks Bombers away. Lucas, one bounce, reaches the wing. Two bounces, Voss closing. Lucas kicks up to the 50. Brisbane with numbers. Lippich, good mark. Oh, and Moorcroft got him late. Will that be 50?
It'll be 50.
Just unnecessary. Leppich took the mark. He landed, and Moorcroft just gave him the double-handed push in the face, and Leppich will end up kicking the ball from about 85 metres out.
So some undisciplined play by the Bombers. Leppich will drive Brisbane up towards half forward.
Interesting, it looks like Darryl White and Wellman have ended up on each other, pretty much on the wing.
Yeah, playing on the wing.
Leppich goes short to Copeland, slip, doubles back, gets it, wants to give it off. He's 70 metres out. He bangs Brisbane up to the goal square. Lynch at the back, knocks it down. Roving Keating, can he get boot to ball? He goes to ground, is tackled. Bombers hail the cab. We'll have a bounce 15 out from the Brisbane goal.
Brad Scott playing on James Hird. I thought it'd be Chris Scott. It's almost the same with his twin brother, and I reckon a good one, Terry.
Absolutely. Young Copeland's got a big job also on Carousella.
The umpire's got it. 18 metres directly out from the Brisbane goal at the scoreboard end. Beautiful sunshine streaming on the greatest ground in the world. Bang! 90,000 see it go down. Brown over the top, try to get it going. It came down to Lappin. Oh, over the top, Smoke and Joe Mercedes stacks on the mill. The umpire will bounce it again. Crosses himself like the Monsignor blessing the fleet of Sydney Harbour and Port Phillip. And there's only a score each of 2, Essendon and Brisbane. 1 point. It's tough, it's rugged. Pretty tight as well today.
We're expecting a high-scoring game, although the swirling breeze may curtail that. Umpire Ellis near the top of the goal square for Brisbane puts it down. Keating wins it down. Bombers with numbers. Power. Kick smothered. White. Handball Black. Handball Lappin. Nigel Lappin. Very high kick. Won't travel 10. Play on. We'll have another bounce. 15 out from Brisbane's goal. It did not travel. Oh, free kick Brisbane. Directly in front. It should be a goal.
It was not a mark. Lappin kicked the ball about 40 metres high, only about 8 metres wide. It was marked by a Brisbane player, and then he got an elbow to the head.
John Barnes.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. Lynch has taken the ball to ground. Barnes has come in late, and there's a couple of undisciplined ones. We saw Moorcroft and there Barnes.
Well, Lynch shouldn't miss this. Directly in front, 20 metres out. The first goal of the grand final. Brisbane play. Former Fitzroy best and fairest kicks the opening goal of the grand final. Push and shove now, 7 minutes first term. Lions 1-1-7, Bombers 1 behind. New Ream Integrity scoreboard.
I reckon Essendon have been reactive here. I reckon they're the ones who are under the pump a bit. Sure, you're down there, you're close at ground level. It seems to me that they are the ones that are instigating a bit of this niggle, and it's not working for them.
Well, Gary, the Brisbane Lions won't be intimidated. I've said that all week. And just one thing, I've been really watching James Hird. There is no doubt he is not moving freely. I don't think he's fully fit, and it would be a question mark about how if he gets through this game, matter of fact.
Well, James Hird is in the forward 50 while they're getting ready to bounce this ball. I'd have him in the centre if he was fit.
Scott McLaren, the umpire, puts it down beautifully. Barnesy went there and he thumped it out the back. But here comes Ackermanis. He came in and he went to handball but fined it. Turned around on a long arc and kicked a long ball down over the head of Bradshaw. Lynch again, Bradshaw. Oh, they're going to kill him up there if they keep on playing like that. Because what happened is that Bill Jacobs looked behind him, and as soon as you take your eye off the pill, you're in trouble.
Big job for Jacobs playing in a key defensive post in a grand final. He's come a long way, the kid. I'm not sure he's up to that. Great work, Ackermanis. Terrific shepherd, Keating. Everyone said if they get blown away, they're in trouble. They won't be.
Bradshaw goes bang. Oh, he's missed it to the left.
Bad miss, Rex.
That is 2 bad misses, Rob. They could have been 3 goals.
Only took about 3 or 4 steps, the young fella, and could have gone in another 10 metres. Made it a harder kick than it was.
Fletcher chips to himself from the kick in, then drives a thumping kick towards Wellman. Boss alongside, holds him down. Free kick going the way of Wellman. 8.5 minutes first term. Lions lead 8-1. Wellman goes short. Jacobs ran off. Marks on the wing. Delivers to half forward. Hird bounces in front. Paddles it over the line. Throw in 60 around from Essendon's goal.
It's just interesting at that last kick out that the boys went man to man all over the ground. So they're just not going to give them an inch at all, Brisbane.
Bright sunshine bathing the MCG. Warm day in Melbourne. Throw in. Alessio holds off Michael. Ball comes to ground. Can Jason Johnson get there? No. Moorcroft at the back of the pack, knocked it out wide near the line. It's over. Throw in on 50.
Interesting, they've gone Lappin on Mercedes, leg speed from Lappin, and just says to Mercedes, I've got an opponent to worry about here. Black and Jason Johnson is that other midfield match.
Pack of about 16 surrounding the throw-in. Alessio and Mal Michael to contend. One down by Michael. Heffernan caught by Voss. Good tackle. Johnson emerges for Brisbane. He's away. Handball to Darryl White. Back to Chris Johnson. Brisbane running through midfield. Handball by Winthrop. Wellman caught high. High tackle by Brad Scott. Wellman in the centre of the MCG will send Essendon forward.
Not a well man, just forward of the centre and a long ball down looking for Lucas and Lloyd. Mel Michaels, big thump as a rip snorter. Clean bowled over the top was Heffernan, but this is Voss. Beautiful plan for a play out towards White. He took a bounce. He'll run along the wing and take another bounce and transfer it to little boy. Harder half volley. Suits the little man. He's kicked a long ball inside and here's Lynch. It's not.
Copeland.
It's the trophy. I thought it was Lynch. It's Copeland. And he can kick a goal. They really need to kick a goal because they've dominated.
Copeland playing on Carousel. Good match-up, Gary. Lovely kick by Hart. And what about Chris Scott playing at centre-half back on Lucas? That's a beauty.
Yeah, I like that matchup. I tell you the thing at the moment, leg speed to me. They look to have more leg speed, the Lions.
And plenty of height up there. I tell you what, the trophy in Copeland is 30 metres out. He's close to the man on the mark, but he's threaded it behind the stick again. They've let them off the hook, and the Bombers, they should take advantage of this. Look at the Lions there, 1-3-9 Essendon, one behind 1 point. There's 4 certain goals they should have been.
Plough, they've dominated for 5 minutes. You don't do that too often in a grand final. You've got to make the most of it.
You've got to get value for effort because you know the momentum will swing Essendon's way at some stage.
Hawthorn last week, 2 goals, 7 at one stage, cost them.
Fletcher to Hardwick in the back pocket. In turn for Jacobs, who marks on the defensive 50. No, umpire said no. It looked to be a finger tipper on the ground. Feeds a handball back to Hardwick. Back to Jacobs by hand. Runs into trouble. Kicks quickly up to the wing. Alessio holding on to Michael. Free kick Brisbane.
The matchups are working at the moment. It doesn't appear to have a Brisbane matchup that's out of its depth at the minute, and that's a good sign, I think.
He's very bodily strong, Michael.
True wing position right below us. Michael drives it up towards Brown at half forward. He wrestles out Solomon, and Solomon will take the free. We'll get the free kick count from Bondi in just a moment. Graham.
Oh, Solomon put his feet into a Brisbane player. Umpire said big.
Wellman gone
4-5 in favour of the Brisbane Lions at the frees.
9 frees already as Solomon finds Moorcroft. Marks on the wing, held up by Copeland. Johnson 50.
Johnson's given away a couple of reckless free kicks there. Umpire pretty quick to make sure that he's in control.
Yeah, nine free kicks and 2 50s, Robert, in the opening 12 minutes.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
Lloyd leads to the pocket. Moorcroft goes to him. Lloyd, can he mark? No, won't reach him. Knocked away by Ashcroft. Well done. Leppich sees it over the line. Good defence, Brisbane. Poor delivery, Moorcroft throw in.
Just telegraphed from Gary Moorcroft. I mean, that was always going to happen, and you saw Ashcroft, the player, come across. I mean, you've got to be a bit more subtle than that.
Good squeeze work by Ashcroft to help his fullback Leppich.
Bombers need to score this sortie forward, right over the top. Lucas grabbed it, tried to kick it himself. It'll bounce behind the stick, the little stick, and out of play. And the throw-in will take place in the left forward pocket at the punt road end of the stadium. Beautiful day, and Brisbane at the moment taking all before them. They're 9 points, and Essendon are one behind 1 point. The ball now spinning back into play, going up in ruck. Alessio from behind Malcolm Michael. Alessio grabbed it, had a fresh air shot, comes through the orange roughie. Leppich was taken high, and Leppich will take an across the shoulder job from Alessio and also Lloyd, who worked in tandem, and the orange roughie has got it at back pocket.
Brisbane lead 9-1. Leppich to the broadcast side. Michael Voss waits for it, takes a good mark in front of Heffernan.
He is a great player, and Leppich has started very well in the last line.
Voss delivers up to the wing on the lead. Bradshaw dives. Can he take the mark? He can. Jacob says the ball wasn't marked. Umpire says yes.
Lucky call. Umpire was blindsided.
We'll check with Tony Shaw in a moment on the fitness of Hurd. Bradshaw, defensive side of the wing, kicks Brisbane to half forward at the back. Brown flies, can't mark Black and Jason Johnson. Black goes to ground hard. Handball to Lappin, 55 out. There's a whistle, play on. Handball to Brown from the boundary line, goes to the goal square. Lynch! Marks between the goal and behind post. Proverbial impossible angle. He'll have to run around or pass it off.
Steve started well, Alistair Lynch. He has really started well and does start his games well. Doesn't finish them as strongly, but gee, their legs and their ability to get clear of tackles at the moment, Lappin and Voss, it's looking a bit ominous.
Also contested mark options, Bradshaw as well.
Left forward pocket. He stands on the boundary line. He'll have to run around. He cannot possibly. He runs around. He kicks. What a kick! May have missed to the near side. He has behind. Brisbane 1-4-10. Essendon are behind. 14 minutes in. The new Ream Integrity scoreboard. Tony Shaw. You've been watching James Hird closely.
Look, I think he's about 60-40. He's now pushed up to the defence for Essendon, so I think he's about 60-40 fitness. And I'll tell you one thing, their tools both at both ends have been fantastic for Brisbane.
Fletcher to himself, an outside 50 to a contest Lappin, but the ball spilled smoke and Joe Mercedes kicked it around his body to an open paddock. Right half forward, here comes Lloyd. He got clean bowled, tapped on Alessio looking for Moorcroft. Coming through the orange roughie, Leppy's hand passed it out to Simon Black, got it off further to Lappin. He's now in trouble, got a hand pass out. The umpire said it's got to go back. Orange roughie, is it?
Victor Leppich, who's just been on fire in this first 10 minutes.
It's a good matchup, Leppich on Lloyd. I thought it would be Mal Michael, but gee, 15 minutes in, it's the right decision.
They're a powerful looking side as Simon Black marks it right in front of the Prime Minister, and he's sitting up in the shade there saying, well, gee, Brisbane, this is a true national competition now, and Brisbane are taking it all before them. The Bombers need a left and a long ball down towards Brown, but coming in is Barnes. He dropped it. Oh, they look a bit tired at the moment, Essendon, but they've never had pressure like this, I can tell you now. They've been there before, but these young Bombers, they're killing them at the moment, and they need another score to sort of keep the ascendancy up.
Throw it. Go on.
Alessio, spare man in defence.
Keating wins it down. Scramble. Ackermanis and Ramanauskas. Ackermanis goes to ground. Shoveled it out to Scott. Brad kicks Brisbane up to the 50 for power. Oh, he's juggled a mark. What a sensational grab. And he'll line up from 40.
Great effort for a little fella.
Terrific effort. I don't know if he got his feet off the ground, Gary. He was about 4 deep. There was Solomon, there was Jacobs, and the little fella just judged it to perfection. 3 bites at the cherry. They desperately need to kick it, Gary, because they've missed too many.
Fourth mark inside attacking 50 to Brisbane.
It's not an accurate kick. 13 goals, 17 behinds this year. He's 45 metres out, 45-degree angle, on its way. It's good! The young man has done it, and Brisbane are out by 15 points. Nearly 17 minutes gone, first quarter. Brisbane 2-4-16. Essendon 1 behind the new Ream Integrity scoreboard. Some changes. Tony Shaw.
Yeah, the 2 ruckmen have come off the ground. Barnes has come off, Mercury replaced him, and Clark Keating's come off, and McDonald's gone onto the ball for the Lions.
Well, now we'll find out how fit James Hird is, because it is at this stage of games when they struggle, he swings himself in and plough. He can have an instantaneous impact on a match.
He can if he's right, but just the way I've seen over the last 15 minutes, it just doesn't look right.
And Wellman playing out of the goal square at full forward.
Particularly unusual.
Bang umpire Matthew James. He bounced it higher than Joe Cocker. Bo McDonald got a fingernail to it, but then he tried to hoik it out the back. Brown came over the top, running through it there. The umpire will have a look as the trophy in Copeland was all besieged. But umpire James will do it all again.
They must think highly of Copeland Rex. He's just a kid. Came off the rookie list, Brisbane boy.
Bang umpire James put it down. It's high again. Alessio, beautiful knock to Hird. That's what they need. Down towards half forward. Lucas has marked it in front down there of Prescott, and in the contents of the game they need this goal.
Second highest goal kicker for the Dons. He's kicked 31 this year. Lloyd, of course, have kicked 100.
And Hird kicked the ball down.
And his first touch, Gary.
And I reckon that's significant for the rest of the team, because they'd be looking there going, come on Jimmy, do something for us, son.
And there was a murmur in the crowd.
And he's done it now, and the rest of that Essendon side might just settle and say our skipper's there, he's going to be there all day, hopefully for Essendon point of view.
And the boy from Camperdown in Victoria's Western District, down where the Trin Lakes, that Bullen-Marai and Purrumbete are, kicks a long behind a goal. The goal umpire ran into the front foyer of the Hilton and said to the concierge, I'm here for a drink. He went sideways. It must have got in by a bee's diaphragm, but it doesn't matter. The Bombers are 1-1-7, Lions 2-4-16. Oh, that's like hair. They needed it.
Barnard on Gary, and Mel Michael has gone onto him, so that won't worry Mel Michael. That matchup's fine. So if it's Alessio or Barnard, Mel Michael's quite comfortable.
That's the advantage that back six have got, I think, Rob. They can keep them there all day and welcome anything that comes their way. I think that's a huge bonus in a big game like this.
So the Lions by 9 points, 19 minutes gone. On a magnificent day for watching, perhaps a shade warm for playing. Alessio and McDonald in the middle. Alessio got his hand to it. Nigel Lappin charged through. Gabbard kicked the hard, drops the chest mark on 50, doubles back. Handball off to Copeland, kicks it out wide. Michael Voss and Carousel to run it down. Bradshaw to Shepherd. Voss has got it. He's brought down. Good tackle, Jacobs. Throw in 40 around from the Brisbane goal.
Well, you've got to hold him, Vossi, because, I mean, he almost attacks your body when he's got the ball.
Jonathan Brown at every centre bounce absolutely charges in.
Moorcroft coming off. Barnes to go back on for the Bombers. Alessio and McDonald wrestle from behind. Hardwick wins it down. Ackermanis is there. Knocked away from it. Boundary throw in once more. McCurry goes on, in fact, for the Bombers. How does he look, Tony Shaw?
Well, he's just come on. He's got his socks down. I don't think that's a good sign even at this stage of the game. But as you said, Moorcroft came off. They looked like they were going to put Barnes on, just trying to trick the Lions here on the bench.
Edging to time on. McDonald wins it down. Heffernan couldn't trap it. Alessio on the second go. Does Will. Was caught but gets a kick away towards Lucas. Chris Scott against him. Ball free kick. Free kick going the way of Chris Scott. He'll take it on the outer wing for Brisbane.
He was grabbed by Lucas, and Chris Scott now goes short. It's a worm burner. Oh, Nelly went straight through Bo McDonald's legs. Black got buffeted out over the top. Jason Johnson, it went out to Lucas, did it well. Oh, he went over a fresh air shot. Fell ass over tit. The umpire had a look at it, and he's going to bounce it on left half forward flank. This is a tough, rugged affair now, and the Bombers have weathered the storm. If they get another goal, I tell you what, Brisbane might say we've worked our backside off.
Yep.
And look at the scoreboard. This is going to be a great encounter.
And Hurd, one thing it's done gone onto the ball, he's shaken the Brad Scott tag, so that's not a bad thing.
Bounce 55 out from Brisbane's goal. McDonald got a good run at it, but old man Alessio won it down. Nigel Lappin sharked it. Handball to Michael Voss. Left foot kick forward. Carousel marks for Essendon. His opponent ran the wrong way. Carousel feeds it off to Hardwick in the defensive goal square. Risky kick. Jacobs, good mark. Takes it on the defensive 50 beneath the members' stand. Wants to go quickly. Delivers up to Hurd. Hurd dives and marks. Well done, Jimmy. He's going to lift the Bombers. He goes up towards Rioli in front of Ashcroft. Reads it well. Tries to elude Ashcroft. Dances away. Goes short. Barnard marks. Now they go. He goes to Lloyd. Lloyd can't bring it down. He recovers quickly from the boundary line. Decides to centre it. Remenauskas can't bring it down. Bouncing ball to lose Essendon. Hard goes out wide. And now the chance for the Brisbane Lions. Solomon will get there first. 60 out from the Bomber goal. Steadies, goes to the pocket in front of Lucas. Traps it on the half volley. Handball to Mercedes. He's caught. Handball to Remenauskas. Just bangs it up inside 50. Will Barnard gets there. Oh, Caracella floating forward has taken the mark for Essendon. 40 metres out directly in front. And after it looked like luck was going to go away from the Bombers, Carousel were in the right place at the right time.
Well, those two, Copeland and Carousel, are covering a lot of ground. Both players have had opportunities to mark inside their 50. I don't like the matchup of Mel Michael on Barnard. I think Barnard's running him all around the ground.
They've settled really well the last 5 minutes, Essendon, and as Rex said, kick this goal.
Yeah.
They'll be feeling pretty good about themselves.
It'd be just a 3-point game for all of Brisbane's dominance. Carousel directly in front, 40 metres out, misses to the right-hand side.
Pulled the kick.
Boy, it's tough out there. Brisbane 2-4-16, Essendon 1-2-8. The new Ream Integrity scoreboard on 3AW.
Just surprised that Brad Scott didn't go onto the ball with James Hurd. I mean, a couple of touches he's had now. He had Lappin in the middle of the ground, and he was able to get across the other side of the ground.
I didn't pick where Brad Scott went. He just sit back across the back line.
He wasn't there either. I just saw Lappin and Voss Hurd running together.
Johnson has got Lappin, and a 30-metre pass pinpoints him. Lappin now of Brisbane outside 50 has got Bradshaw, and Bradshaw marks a long way from home in front of Jacobs. He's on the right half-back flank for Brisbane. He'll now Well, he went to the left, and now he's going to say, I'll kick it along that wing position. The huge crowd hushed in anticipation. A long ball down. Jonathan Brown takes a great mark. Right half forward for the Brisbane Lions. This beautiful young player kicks it out in front of Sue over the top, punched away Carosella. Smoking Joe can't stop Scott coming through, kicked it long, and here's a mark power. The umpire picked up by Pike. Pike's just come on and he's kicked it behind the stick, I think. Pike had it dead, and Pike kicked the point and swam away.
Pike just replaced Mel Michael, and Terry Wallace called it perfectly. Mel Michael struggling to run with Barnard, so they put Pike on. He's got Barnard.
Brisbane lead 2-5 to 1-2. Fletcher goes out wide for Mercedes, who marks half-back out of side for the Bombers.
Kick-out's working very well for Essendon.
They have done it exceedingly well as Mercedes chips it up to the wing very wide, too wide, out on the full.
This could be another costly miss, though. Pike snapshot. He was only 20 metres out. 2 goals, 5, Brisbane.
Tony Shaw, what do you think? Is it the wind or the nerves for these poor kicks?
No, they've been 2 easy shots. They've just missed easy shots, and as you say, it could cost them, but that was right with Pike coming on to go straight to Barnard.
Leppich to half forward. Bradshaw over the top, can't mark. Jason Johnson emerges for the Bombers. Handball off to Solomon, goes out wide. Mercedes marks, will be keen to dispose of it better here. Takes the easier option, a handball to Romanowskis. Handball to the running Jason Johnson. The All-Australian goes for home. It might bounce through. Carosella running it down. Copeland with him. Can he get it to Rioli? No. Good defence. Rioli's got it now. Steadies, goes backwards. Oh, Jason Johnson, you are a star. He ran 120 metres, and now his third possession should be a goal.
Jason Johnson ran 120 metres, all right. He got that ball off half-back. He ran. He received it again on the wing. He ran. He bounced. He kicked it into the forward 50. Good contest by Carosella to get the handball out to Rioli, and Rioli very cool to short pass to Johnson, who kept running.
It was really poor by Chris Johnson. It was a 2-on-2, and then Johnson went on a 2-on-1.
35 out, Gary, and he's kicked a goal. Man back. What a year this young man has had. Equals 7th in the Brownlow, and All-Australian in his first goal. Makes it a 3-point game. The new Ream Integrity scoreboard after 26 minutes. Brisbane 2-5-17. Essendon 2-2-14.
Well, I was just saying, Chris Johnson had Dean Rioli as his opponent. The ball bounced up in the air. Copeland and Carosella were going to contest, and instead of Johnson staying with Rioli, he jumped as well. Rioli stayed on the ground and worked the footy back.
Essendon very smart. Voss has gone forward. They've got Wellman to take him rather than having someone go on and off the ball with him.
So the beautiful green grass, lovely skies, huge crowd. Where else would you want to be? Bang! Umpire McLaren put it down, but it bounced on the ground again. It went over the top. Heffernan was besieged, coming through Brown. He tried to get it going. It's all tied up. Umpire McLaren's there, and it's happened. Brisbane have had probably 60% of the play, Graham, and now it's almost tied up on the scoreboard.
In fact, inside 50's only one more to Brisbane, 10-9, so they've had the chances when they've gone forward, though.
Chris Johnson had 3 opponents so far. Moorcroft, Mercury and Rioli.
Umpire McLaren, who during the week makes prescriptions as a chemist, he put it down beautifully. Simon Black came through, kicked a little worm burner inside 50. Here comes Bradshaw. He was tackled by Bill Jacobs. Stacks on the mill. The umpire will blow his whistle down there. Martin Ellis, and Ellis will bounce it a true centre half forward with Brisbane going to the main scoreboard that shows the Lions 2-5-17.
Centre bounce clearances 4-1 so far to Brisbane. They're winning it out apart from that one Hurd got out.
Essendon at 2-2-14.
So the bounce.
Heffernan having a rest up forward while Voss rests. Darryl White gone to Heffernan.
Alessio and McDonald will contest. Alessio used his body, wins it down. Mercury caught by Ashcroft. Jacobs tried to hack it out of mid-air, missed. Black emerges for Brisbane, pops it up. One-on-one contest. Hardwick pulled down. Does he get a free? No. Hurl, Voss pushed in the back by Romanowskis. Umpire says it was okay. We'll have another bounce. 45 out from Brisbane's goal.
They've worked hard to get to Voss. As soon as Voss gets the footy, they look like they leave, whoever their opponent is, they leave to go straight to him. They're not prepared to give him any space.
27 and a half minutes gone, about 2 minutes to play in the opening term. Fiercely contested first term of the grand final. Brisbane leading by 3 points. Umpire Ellis to put it down once more. Alessio gets a good run at it, flicks it down. Carosella couldn't control it, neither could Solomon. Ashcroft emerges, wants to give it to Hart, tried to. Hardwick got in the way to knock it down. Hart handball to Lappin. Lappin hand pass to Jonathan Brown. The young man can kick a goal. Fires, misses to the right hand side. Another gettable opportunity goes astray for Brisbane. 2-6-18. Essendon 2-2, 14, 28 minutes gone.
Matty Lloyd playing out at centre-half forward for the Bombers. Behind him, Rioli and Heffernan in the goal square.
The Lions by 4 points in the shadows of the quarter-time siren. This has been a great game, and I think the best game for a long, long time in a grand final. Tough, rugged, no questions answered or asked anyway, and the ball in the centre knocked away. Carosella, quick hands to Lucas. Lucas gets it down towards Lloyd! And Lloyd flew across the back of the pack like a gazelle and could put him in front.
I tell you what, not only are they costing themselves, Brisbane, by not kicking goals, they're handing the footy to Dustin Fletcher at full back, and their kicking clearances have been as effective as I've seen all year.
That kick-in was a set play.
Yep.
Long kick down the guts into the middle of the MCG. They had 4 or 5 players there, the Bombers. They had the extra numbers, knocked it over the back, then a quick handball, and bang, in a flash, the ball's gone from full back to Lloyd, who'll kick from directly in front, 30 metres out.
Robert, I was just going to say, is the move of Alessio in the ruck has made him more flexible up forward for the Bombers?
I think so, for sure, because Barnard's caused worries.
100 goals and 34 behinds. 30 metres out directly in front. Lloyd goal! And Essendon are in front. Never say die, the Bombers. They'll probably go in at quarter time in front, and they're 3-2-20. Lions at 2-6-18.
And James Hird in at the centre bounces. Brisbane got off to a bit of a fly. We thought he must have been pretty badly injured because he didn't get in for the centre bounces. He's back there now. Shorey, just a question to you about Mal Michael. Is his aerobic fitness suspect? Is that why he's taken off?
Oh, no doubt. He could not go up the field and run with the likes of Barnard. Terry picked it very well. I think Pike suits him better, but very ordinary in that area, Robert.
Psychologically now for this young Brisbane side, first time in a grand final, played very well, probably had as much of it as anyone, yet they're going to go in behind.
He's got some questions there, doesn't he?
Bombers by 2 points, cross 30 minutes. Back in the centre, McDonald, and the firing Alessio contest a good bounce. McDonald gets his hand to it. Off the line, Chris Scott gathers, kicks Brisbane up to the 50. Bradshaw wrestling. Mark Johnson, courage, couldn't take the mark. Hurried kick away by Heffernan, goes nowhere. Black of Brisbane, likewise his handball. Mercedes emerges, handball to Jacobs, look out. Hurries a kick forward, but Pike's in the way. Chance for Brisbane. Pike goes long, up to the goal square. Lynch and Fletcher. Lynch couldn't bring it down. Off the ground, Ackermanis. Brisbane in front. The Brownlow medalist has snapped a wonderful goal. The Lions are back in front. There's a Bomber down behind play. We'll get to that in a moment. Brisbane are 3-6-24. Essendon are 3-2-20 on the new Ream Integrity scoreboard. How many touches first, Bonnie, for Jason Ackermanis?
That was his 4th possession, 3 kicks, a hand pass, a couple of free kicks, clash of heads, I think, for the 2 Bomber players.
It was Solomon ran through Hardwick. That's what happened.
Brisbane's the best loose ball team in the competition inside their forward 50.
Psychologically, for a young side to be challenged like that, lose the lead and win it back and go in at quarter time.
Bombers got extra numbers in defence.
Umpire James put it down. It was a high ball and over the top. Brisbane come again. Chris Johnson got it out over there towards his player in Chris Scott. And here comes a lead to Boss. Boss has marked it 1 second before the siren sounded. And how to be if the skipper can kick a goal after the quarter-time siren in the 2001 Grand Final. What would that do for him? 2 in a minute.
I don't reckon he'll miss it either.
He's got to drill it.
So Boss, he comes in and kicks it from 51 metres, and he has drilled it behind the stick. And the goal umpire, wearing Mick Grapsis's boys' Oakley sunglasses, gives the rugby sign 1 finger. It's a digit. And at quarter time, in the 2001 AFL Grand Final, the Brisbane Lions are in front by 5 points. The Lions 3-7-25. Essendon 3-2-20. For Brisbane, goals to Lynch, Power and Agamanis. And to Essendon, goals to Lucas, Jason Johnson and Lloyd. Beautiful atmosphere today. The ground absolutely perfect. The ball in the air, and Alessio might have got a fingernail to it. Voss headed in there. So too did Black. Plowns at the umpire. The ball came out the lap and he dived onto it. He hoiked it out the back looking for Ackermanis. He was tackled, but here comes Smokin' Joe. Mercedes high ball. Rioli with the same right of the line as the ball. Oh, over the top now. There was a chance, not a well man got it, but Chris Johnson hand passed it forward. Coming through, doing it beautifully. Copeland hand passed it to Lappin over the top, and Akamanis has dropped it. He did all the hard work. Lappin just lobbed it up, and all the hard work was done, and he spilled the bananas.
And now's the time to get into him if you're an Essendon player, just to let him know, just to plant some seed into his mind. He did, he ran hard at it. It was a beautiful kick by Lappin, should have marked it. Maybe the sun will give him the benefit of the doubt, but you'd let him know.
Pike on the wing on Wellman.
Brown taking the mark.
Brownlow curse comes early from the bounce. Keating wins it down. Bradshaw, can he get boot to ball? He's in the pocket. Handball to Hart. Hart runs it over. It was well and truly deliberate, but umpire James won't call it that way. A throw in 20 around from Brisbane's goal.
Why do you think, Terry, that Lloyd's out at half forward, Barnard's in the goal square with Darryl White?
Get to it in a moment, Terry. Ball tossed back into play. Lions deep in attack. It goes over the head of Alessio. Black wins it down. Jacobs handball not good. Mercedes cleans up for him. Handball to Jason Johnson. Oh, he's caught. Good tackle. Little handball away to the middle. McCurry's got it centre half back. Goes towards Lucas. Oh, he out-muscles Chris Scott. Takes the mark. Open forward line. Wait for Lloyd to lead. Lucas pushes off Chris Scott. Does he give it away? No. Umpire Ellis just warns him. Lucas goes. The lead. Barnard marks.
That's right.
50 out, right half forward. Lloyd will lead into the pocket. There he goes. Will Barnard give it to him? No. Barnard knows about kicking goals on this day. Booted 4 here last year.
Kicked 27 for the year.
The Bombers have identified that they want to have White back in the goal square at all time. They just obviously don't rate his defensive skills on the last line. They had Wellman with him earlier on in the first quarter.
He got a lot of space, Barnard, on the lead then.
A trainer removes a clutch of errant balloons as Barnard ignores that, and from 51 out pushes it out to the left. It'll land in the square. A chance, almost brought down by Alessio. Gets in the back of a Brisbane defender. McCurry, Hurd, handball. Lloyd kicks and has missed to the left-hand side. Oh, it was set up there on the left for Matthew Lloyd. Couldn't hook it back enough. First score, second quarter behind. Brisbane 3-7-25. Essendon 3-3-21.
Just a terrific handball by James Hurd. Just got it out of the pack between the legs, and you'd expect Lloyd to kick that 9 out of 10.
Chris Johnson's got it, goes out on the right half-back flank. He got a lead from Lappin. Lappin's got to try and touch this before it goes over. He swings around on his left boot and kicks it long towards Boss, but it's a shocking kick. There's Heffernan. He took a good mark. Screaming for it is not a well man, but Heffernan now will kick it rather short, but Johnson will come back. Lloyd goes over the top. Rioli, like a Dodgem car, came off outside 50. Hand passed it back over there, and long kick by Jason Johnson down towards Barnes. White's over the top. They should be able to get out of this, but good play by Barnes. Kept the ball in that area near the Hancock sign and left forward pocket for the Bombers.
Darryl White really struggling back there on that full back line. Had a chance to get a kick away, and his feet went from under him.
So the ball now spinning back into play. Alessio from behind. Over the top, Bo McDonald. Rioli's there. Picked up over there by Chris Johnson. Got it across the Boss. Passed to Mario's Delap Uricar sign outside 50. Jonathan Brown. Good pressure there from King Solomon. Solomon's inside 50 down to McCurry. McCurry goes up. He can't get it.
Free kick, high tackle.
Was it really? He took his arm away according to Martin Ellis.
Ashcroft in a bit late, Rex.
And McCurry's got it. He'll look to pass it off, and he's got it on towards Bill Jacobs, who'll be besieged. Running onto it, Carosella. Can he pick it up? He does. He brought it across his body. Alessio's got to beat 2 and nearly dead. Alessio on the left boot, put her around and over the top. Dr. Christian Barnard down. Oh, not a well man. Not a well man is a well man. Hand pass looking for Lucas. Kicked off the ground by Luke Power. The ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds outside 50.
Good defensive pressure down there from both sides. The forwards worked really hard for Essendon from their forward 50, and also Brisbane kept their head, didn't give a soft free kick away.
It's hot. Physically and metaphorically. Boundary throw in. Alessio behind. Keating won it down. No one can control it. Lappin caught. Mercedes. Oh, little chip kick. Can Lloyd get there? Good defence by Lepage. No, it's not. He was holding on. And Lloyd, the Coleman medalist, will fire from 45, and it's a good sign for a left footer.
Umpire 5 metres away from the contest, had a perfect view of it, and I reckon he's right. Lloyd, shoulder, back, you name it, Lepage was there.
I reckon the umpires have done a terrific job so far.
Just a cup of tea of yours was on, Rex.
The first man.
It's hot here today, Robert. Fantastic.
Kick 100 under Kevin Kevin Sheedy will kick after the blood rule. We've got Lucas coming off. So let's recap the situation for you here on Grand Final Day 2001. 5.5 minutes gone, second quarter. Brisbane have wasted plenty of chances. They lead 3-7-25 to Essendon 3-3-21. Lloyd will kick from 45 near the boundary at right half forward. Tony Shaw, what's the problem with Scott Lucas?
He just got a cut on the edge of his eye and Blumfield came on for him, and it is hot down here, boys, and I mean it physically. Both sides are not giving an inch at the moment.
The coffee was hot too. Lynn bought me a chair for my birthday, but I refused to plug it in. Go on.
Lloyd to kick for his second, to put the Bombers in front. He kicks, he goes!
Oh, how good's that?
Great goal. That was gun barrel straight. Frozen rope, call it what you like. That never deviated 1 millimetre. And the Bombers are back in front. Essendon 4-3-27. Brisbane 3-7-25. That's the Pulse assist scoreboard on 3AW football.
Got another blood rule too as Luke Power comes off. Sure, he'll keep an eye on that. Look, it's been played very much in close and in tight at the moment. The runners for Brisbane, Ackermanis and Voss and Lappin and Black, who had a little bit of it early, just haven't been able to find room, and that's been full credit to Essendon and closed those blokes down a bit.
If it's an outside game, Brisbane wins. If it's played inside the packs, Essendon wins.
Blumfield has gone to centre-half forward to replace Lucas. James Hird standing between full forward and centre-half forward for the centre bounce.
The Bombers by 2 points in an absolute cliffhanger. Right over the top now, that was Keating, but it went out to Voss. He was dispossessed. King Solomon is there. Kicked off the ground by Voss to half forward, and out come Lynch. Lynch is marked it in front, and Fletcher couldn't do anything about it, and that was Voss. He did it beautifully, and Lynch can kick his second in the grand final.
Just got to get this one, Bondi. What are Lynch's stats for the day?
1 goal, 2, Rob, from his 3 kicks out of the centre. It's now 8-1 in Brisbane's favour. McDonald winning the hit-outs along with Keating.
So Lynch at the punt road into the stadium comes in from 45 metres. He's hooked it. My goodness me, a man from Kent job. It was slightly bent. And on the Pulse assist scoreboard, 8 minutes in, Essendon 4-3-27. Hang on by a Bees diaphragm, Lions 3-8-26.
Fletcher shorts it to Wellman in the back pocket.
Terrible miss.
Yeah, they have had so many chances. Wellman goes short. Carousella can't trap it on the half volley. Opens the door for Hart. Carousella throws it back to Wellman. Handball Hardway brought down. Great tackle applied McRae. Ackermanis, Solomon collide. McRae goes in hard. Will have a bounce 55 out from the Brisbane goal as Lucas will go back on for Blumfield.
The thing that we spoke about, the tricky breeze on the MCG is certainly playing havoc for the Brisbane players. They keep kicking the ball too high when they're going for their shots for goal. In this breeze, you've got to keep it half post high.
Well, that was a free kick that chased down then. Umpires had been doing a good job.
Alessio and Keating. Alessio in front. Keating knocks it down. Masidi takes it. Handball to Wellman. Good. Bombers away to Reminauskas. Marks on the wing. Here they go. Hird on the lead. Reminauskas to him. James can't mark. Finger tipper. Rolls out of his grasp and throw in to the boundary umpire.
He looks pretty good. No, he's moving all right, James Hird. I don't think there's any worry about that at the moment. Probably won't push up as much as he has in the middle, but he's going all right.
Beneath the members stand. 60 out from the Bomber goal. Alessio and Keating. Alessio wins it down to Masidi. Caught by Lappin. Keating thumps it up towards the logo. Hird and Brad Scott. Hart's helmet comes flying off. Hird's got the footy. Handball not good. Brad Scott of Brisbane. Hand pass to Chris Johnson. A bounce. He'll be caught by Rioli. Oh no. 3 bounces. Johnson. He's like Vanessa. It's the post. It's the post. Oh, Chris Johnson electrifying the MCG, but couldn't get the finish, and the scores are knotted away at 27 apiece.
That was electrifying. The clash between Hird and Hart was more electrifying from where I sat. 2 blokes that just went hard at the footy, and had they collided, they could have knocked each other senseless.
Fletcher's found Mark Johnson.
3 goals, 9 Rex. It's going to hurt Brisbane.
Over the top to Jason Johnson. Back to Mark. Mark short. Got not a well man in his sights. Not a well man right in front of the interchange bench on the right wing. Bombers now trying to build up to a forward thrust, and here comes Ashcroft. Did it well. That was good play. Orange Ruffy over the top. Leppich got it to Keating. Keating now got it to Voss. Unattended left wing on the top. Little boy Hart's building. Hart now Played in that premiership for the Brisbane Bears seconds 10 years ago. Now in the twilight of his career, he's got a chance to put himself with glory. And little boy Hart now, all bases are covered.
He's taken a long time.
Huge amount.
There wasn't much down there initially, so he had to wait.
The lead from Jonathan Brown and Solomon from behind Brown. It's gone out of play on 50. Left forward flank, pressure personified. This is terrific stuff.
Essendon persisting with Lloyd playing across half forward. Barnard back in the goal square with Darryl White. Good move because White doesn't get a lot of the ball because he's out of the play, and it puts Darryl White under pressure.
Rioli peels away from the forward position to pick up Ashcroft off the ball. From the throw-in, Keating won it down. Voss goes high. Essendon free kick. The man to emerge with it underneath that pack as we await him to get up, and it's going to be Jason Johnson on half-back. We've gone 11 minutes of the second term. The scores are tied. A close grand final. Who would have thought it? Johnson goes out wide. Rioli gathers it on the bounce. Still inside the defensive 50. To the outer wing, Wellman didn't bend down. Opens the door for Brisbane, but Ramanowska swoops, gathers, kicks to full forward. Lloyd waiting under it. Lepich knocks it away. Lappin to Rove if the bounce is favourable. It's not. They dive in. They've got him. And they've pinged him. Essendon 45 out. Lappin did not knock it clear. The Bombers will have a kick for goal through Heffernan.
Certain amount of testicles in that decision, no doubt about that. Good umpiring.
Ramanaskus and Akamanis, Bondi, how's that contest?
Ramanaskus this quarter 2 touches. He's had 4 for the game. Akamanis 4 touches, none this quarter.
A score will break the deadlock. Chris Heffernan will kick from 45. Brisbane fans not happy having seen the replay. Heffernan's kick out to the left, behind. Essendon lead by that margin. 12 minutes second term, pulse assist scoreboard. The Bombers 4-4-28, Brisbane 3-9-27.
And looks like Essendon going one-on-one at the kick-in, so Brisbane have huddled at centre half back, and Johnson should be able to nail someone on the break.
It's not a huddle at all, Rob. It's a barn dance.
Couple of zoners.
Go on.
There's just a couple of zoners for Essendon, the rest one-on-one.
Talking until he blows the whistle. He's got to kick it soon. Here he goes, Chris Johnson. Over the top, looking for Pike. Pike's marking in front of not a well man near the Mario's Delta Europe car sign. Now off right half back, Pike kicks it down. Voss has got a lead. Runs into space. It'll be too close. He kept it in. It's over. As 2 pigeons taking nourishment, they both lifted in unison and said, "We're out of here." Voss is on the rampage.
They go to Voss. They just go to him regardless of who's going to play on him. He had 2 opponents in and had no hesitation. Pike was just kicking it in the general area.
Yeah, even the pigeons are students of the game today. Throwing on the outer wing, the 227s with their backs to us. Alessio beats Keating, takes it, kicks to half forward. Rioli and Johnson. Chris Johnson. He batters it out of play. Boundary throw in 65 around from the Bomber goal.
Ashcroft has been the player. He sort of going out here to peel off his opponent and cut off Lloyd's lead. He's now got Blumfield. Blumfield's smart enough to take Ashcroft away from Lloyd, so it opens up space in front of Lloyd.
Scarcely a spare seat to be seen. Boundary throw in once more. They share it back over. We'll do it all again.
The other thing that Sheeds has recognised now is that Blumfield is a marking player himself, so if they want to leave him, Blumfield will catch it every time.
Essendon 28, Brisbane 27. 14 minutes, second quarter. The umpires are all down there gathering, including 2 field umpires, McLaren and Ellis, and now the boundary umpire gets the signal to throw it in. It's in front of the Great Southern Stand players race, which is half forward for Essendon this quarter. From the throw-in, Keating and Alessio. They share it once more. Copeland gets the second effort. Knocks it 10 metres on for Brisbane. Hart the hand pass away to Copeland. Lions away. Handball to Akamanis. The field opens up for him. The Brownlow medalist to bounce. 270 out. Hand pass on good. Lappin 50 out. Goes towards the goal square. Bradshaw. Lynch. Bradshaw. Knocked away by Fletcher. Lynch used his body well. Got rid of 1, not 2. Mark Johnson with courage. Took 2 to bring him down. Ball spills to Fletcher. He hurries it on. Here go the Bombers. And taking it on half-back is Caracella.
Caracella, the night spot, kicks a long ball. A mongrel finger-breaking corral kick, but it went over the top. Hair pass by Lucas was no good. Johnson got one in the back. Jason Johnson has been pinged for for throwing the ball.
That umpire waited for the crowd to call it. I thought it was there, but he had his back to it.
I tell you what, just quickly, this is one a little by-play, I reckon. Lloyd, Hurd, Carousella, Wellman, they've all got little black things around their armband, where around the bottom part of their arm, Shorey, where it looks like if they were to have a drip, that's where it'd be. Just keep an eye on that one.
Brown didn't mark it at half volley into his nuts, and he kicked it forward inside 50. Oh, Bradshaw was held by Jacobs, no doubt. This is Hardwick. Oh, Mr. Hardwick outside 50 to Blumfield versus Ashcroft. Ashcroft, the veteran, 30-year-old man, 260 games, but Blumfield's got his measure, and Blumfield did it beautifully. Swept himself with determination to the left half forward flank, and that's what grand finals are about.
Essendon fans loved it, Rex. He carried that ball bash and crash style about 60 metres, boundary throw in 80 metres out from the Bomber goal.
Gary, that was out of respect for Longy. They're all wearing those black armbands, but a bit lower than normal.
Good on you, Shorey. Thanks for that. From the throw in, Alessio to Rioli. Handball to Jason Johnson. Is it a goal coming up? Handball, Lloyd waited for it to bounce. Gets it on to Lucas. Snaps from 40. Goal! Oh, it looked like it was creating something out of nothing there for the Bombers. Rioli running off, 16 minutes gone, second term. They've kicked the only 2 goals of this quarter, and they lead by 7 points. Their biggest lead of the game. Essendon 5-4-34, Brisbane 3-9-27. Whole scoreboard after 16 minutes more cropped on.
Matthew Lloyd kicked a couple of goals and gave that one to Lucas with a very, very quick handball. Looks like James Hurd leaving the field under the blood rule. Let's have a look at it. 16 minutes in, and Essendon are in front by 7 points. What do you reckon, Gary?
Oh, I think they're playing good footy. Plough hit on the head earlier. If this game can open up, which you suspect it might after half-time, it's where the Brisbane runners will come into their own. If Essendon can work hard at closing it up, then they can go and win this game.
They have a fantastic ability, Essendon, to just bottle it up. And even when they get behind, they'll always get extra blokes back into their back end so that it's never a real free-flowing contest.
Joe Masidi having a spell. He's gone to the goal square. Now the runner's gone out. Alessio's gone into the forward 50. Barnes rucking.
Bombers by 7 points. Umpire James put it down. Barnes didn't go up. Power got it over the top. Brown for Brisbane got it a little boy hard across his body down towards Bradshaw. It will come towards Bradshaw now as Hardwick cleans him up. Running onto it, Bradshaw again. He was in possession. Quick hands out the back. McRae to Black. Long ball towards Voss. And beautiful mark by Barnes. Barnes at centre half back. Just lazily goes out. Puts it down. Runs out there towards the left half back flank. He puts a little free kick. It's a half volley over the top into the hands of Blumfield. Got a hand pass back. Heffernan in trouble. Clowns at the umpire. The ball picked up over there by the trophy in Copeland. McRae went into hand pass it over. But now coming out towards Lynch and got it out in front of the running player Lappin. Lappin from 40 metres has kicked a long in towards the goal square. Great Mark Fletcher.
A saving mark by the general of the Bombers' defence. Hurd is on for Masidi as Fletcher goes wide to Barnes. Doesn't take too long this time, kicking it up. And the mark taken by Jason Johnson on the defensive 50 to the outer wing. Lucas there with Blumfield sandwich. Chris Scott knocked it down. Copeland tied up. A bounce on the outer wing.
Been terrific, the Bombers are closing it down. 3 blokes there charging in and just holding and locking the footy in.
Any other team in the competition would have kicked the goal down that end, the last one with Lappin, but Essendon chase out harder than any other side in the comp.
Brisbane just 2 behinds this quarter. Umpire Matthew James has spotted another blood rule. Blumfield will come off. So score check with the Brownlow medalist sitting on the bench. Ackermanis. Essendon 5-4-34. The Lions 3-9-27. Down to you, Tony Shaw.
Well, there's been a million changes in the last minute. Rioli on for, off for Moorcroft. Hurd off because of the blood rule. Barnes came on. Now Barnard's replacing Hurd, and because of the blood rule, it looks like Blumfield's coming off, and it could be Mercury or Mercedes.
Sure,
plenty of changes.
I've been broadcasting since '79 without a break. The first time I've had to wear an ice vest before half time.
Hey, Shorey, tell me about the black armband again.
Well, it's about, Dipper told me before, it's out of respect for Longy and Dean Wallace. They haven't worn it in the normal spot for a death, but just out of respect for those players.
Gee whiz.
From the bounce on the outer wing, McDonald wins it down. Hurd is tackled. Good tackle too. Jason Johnson caught. Hart emerges. Here go Brisbane. Hart kicks them inside 50. Bradshaw and Lynch. Fletcher at the back. Had it knocked away by Lynch. Wellman overruns it, but not Michael Voss. He squares it up. Lappin, can he run onto it? The bounce important. He goes to ground. Gets a handball to Power. Caught by McVeigh. Ball goes to Hart. Tries to get it back to Power. Tied up though. The Bomber defence resolute. A bounce 45 out. Might be a free to Essendon. Barnes upended by Black.
Tackling by Essendon, sensational.
We are in time on to the second quarter. The Bombers by 7 points.
The Brisbane side, every time they come forward along the boundary line, they square the ball up to 40 metres out from goals. Essendon have worked them out.
They're only a fraction off. It's only a fraction at the minute.
This potent Brisbane team kept it 2 behinds this quarter. The ball bounces a second time. McDonald wins it down eventually, but Hardwick sharks it. Bangs a boot on the ball quickly to the outer side. Brad Scott and Hurd there. Oh, Brad Scott reads it well. Hurd slip. Scott away. Kicks towards the pocket. Brown! Marks in the pocket. Right forward pocket. 20 metres out. Flavin from the boundary line. Tough angle for a right footer. May have to pass it off.
Great one-on-one contest wide on the wing in front of the great Southern stand. Brad Scott, James Hurd. Brad Scott one out. Got the footy, turned around, accelerated, kicked it as long as he could, and a mark taken by Brown, who was unattended. And Bondi, Darryl White, how many touches? Because he's just not in the play. He's in the goal umpire's pocket.
3 hand passes in the first quarter, nothing this quarter. The boy that's getting the ball, little boy Hart, 11 possessions, 7 kicks, 4 hand passes.
Ackermanis back on. Brown, the son of a former Fitzroy player, just 19 years of age. Brisbane need this. Just 2 behinds this quarter. Tucked up in the pocket. Creeps around a fraction. Right foot kick. Oh, that's pretty good. We'll wait. We'll wait. It's a goal. Brown's got his first. Has played every game for them this year, 37 for the season. We've got a 1-point game in the grand final. Essendon 5-4, 34. Brisbane 4-9, 33. Pulse assist scoreboard.
Just that last play at the other side, James Hurd's groin, Gary. Do you think that was a worry there at all?
Well, look, we're probably looking for it so much that anything, he fell over. But that is very un-James Hurd-like. But I think you've just put it down to him losing his touch and balance. Voss has gone forward again out of the centre square. Ackermanis on in the middle. He needs to do a bit. He and Black need to get their hands on the footy a bit more, Ackermanis and Black.
Wellman playing on Voss is unusual because you'd like Wellman being more of a freewheeler.
Richie Benno into the second quarter, 22 points, and Barnes goes up. Beaten again by McDonald. Here they're good. Black hand passes. Intercepted over there by Razamataz. Ramanaskas hand pass. Will try to get it across. Little boy Hart in everything. There's Tony Shaw with Heffernan charging off the arena.
Yes, it looks like Bluntfield will come back on. Also Bradshaw off and Tim Notting on for his first run. Rexy?
I like to see Notting. He's a difficult matchup, catches it and kicks it really well. They've got to get greater value, Brisbane, for they're winning plenty of tap-outs. They're getting their hands on it. They've got to get better value.
Killing him in the ruck and Bo McDonald again, but here's Barnes. He hacked it out there to Jason Johnson. Hand pass to Moorcroft from 52 metres. A long kick towards Alessio. He can't take it. It went behind the stick. Darryl White couldn't stop it. And the Bombers go to 5-5-35. The Lions are 4-9-33. It's a 2-point ball game. 23 minutes in. Pulse assist scoreboard.
Got to get Michael onto Alessio down forward. If you know you're bringing him into the game, if you're not going to use him at all.
Chris Johnson to bring it back into play. Power peeled off, as did Brad Scott. He ignores them both and will go towards the outer side for Darryl White, who marks on his chest and plays on. Good work. Chips it up to the outer wing. Oh, Notting marks in front of Jacobs. They've worked it up to the outer wing and they've maintained possession. Notting just on the ground. Goes to the centre square. White floated forward. No one picked him up. He marks.
Interesting. White gets released from full-back and he's got 2 possessions in a minute.
Good field position here, Brisbane. White kicks to a contest. Brown and Lynch. Brown in front. Didn't bring it down. Got hands to it. Wellman roves. Heads for the boundary line. Finds it. Throw in. 75 around for the Brisbane goal.
That's why Sheedy knows his stuff so well. I mean, he's had White locked away virtually for an hour.
Jonathan Brown will be disappointed too. Absolutely, I agree with you, but Brown did all the work, got his hands to it and just relaxed. Just at the wrong time.
All spinning, back into play. Over the top there, Bo McDonald of Barnes. It's all tied up, but it came out. Ackermanis has got it. Hand pass across there to Luke Power. Power now, Luke Black. What's his name? Simon Black, inside 50. Got him right. This is McRae. Hand pass to Voss. Voss right up forward. Black has lined it up and he's kicked a long, long point. Behind the stick it went.
Too cute, I reckon.
Behind the stick it went. And on the 3W Pulses scoreboard lines at 4.9.33. Essendon 5.5.35. My goodness gracious me.
Yeah, Vossi went the check side kick.
Fletcher, short to Willman. Kick smothered by McRae. Makes Solomon work. Nice little sidestep around McRae. Goes short, good kick. Jason Johnson seen plenty of it. Marks drives Essendon to half forward. Lloyd goes too far underneath it and Lepage marks on half back. Waits, surveys his options. 25 minutes gone. It's going to be tight at half time either way.
They love to change direction now, defence, but Essendon have got them all covered across the other side of the ground. It is both sides done their homework here.
So the kick will be to a contest on the outer wing. Off hands, no, Jacobs, good second effort, wins it down. The young man for the Bombers. Essendon leading by 1 point. Boy, if it's like this in an hour's time, it'll go down as one of the great ones, you'd think. Jacobs up to half forward, Alessio in a pack. White won it down. Blumfield, handball, McVeigh. Hurried kick forward. Moorcroft, Johnson. Johnson knocked it down. Carousella runs in. Goal! He kicks it to the top deck of the Pondsman stand. Carousella gets his first. Essendon again creating something out of nothing. And Carousella running forward with the easiest of goals today. Bombers 6-5-41. Brisbane 4-10-34. Pulse assist scoreboard after 26 minutes.
Well, just a great crumb, great drop of the ball crumb from Carousella. Good contest. Moorcroft and Johnson got right where you want to be if you're a small forward.
Just want to ask you, Terry, Darryl White at full back on Alessio. You mentioned to use Mel Michael. Your thinking is it's no good having a bloke on the bench who you get nothing out of. You've got to share the workload.
Well, you virtually, on a hot day, what you're doing is you're virtually playing with 21 men rather than 22. Also, when White did come up the ground, he looks better.
26 and a half. There'll be a bit of time on with the blood rules. Knocked out over there by Beau McDonald, but coming through Jason Johnson. Nearly vasectomised there, Moorcroft. Now the hand past the orange ruffy. Moorcroft went through and was legged. Moorcroft went through and was legged.
Chris Johnson is a real worry at the moment. He's playing from behind. He's giving away free kicks. He's arguing with the umpire.
And if Matthew James get argued against again, he'll give him 50. The kid's playing well.
I tell you, they are just enjoying a very good period here, Essendon. They are starting to control the stop plays, winning a bit of footy out of the middle. I know they've been dominated out of the middle, but they're just starting to do better at that. So Moorcroft kicks his goal.
This bloke, the mark of the year, he was down and out 5 weeks ago. They're giving him the flick from the reserves tribunal, and he's lined it up from 40 and he's drilled it. And suddenly Bombers go bang and it's going, Robert.
Just a little bit of a look, like, I won't say it's a headbutt, but it looked like a little one. Moorcroft on Johnson.
And on the 3W Pulse assist scoreboard, Bombers are 7-5-47, Lions 4-10-34. Oh, good period, you said, Abram Kidd, who leaves his kid at the wrong place.
Yes, they have enjoyed a very good period here. Now, you look in the middle of the ground, Brisbane recognise that. So Voss goes back into the centre. They've got Hard in there, who's a hard nut, and also Ackermanis. Beau McDonald, I think, and Keating have been able to get their hands on it, just haven't got full reward. And Johnson's really starting to have an impact on this
15
game.
touches, Jason Johnson. This quarter, he's had 10 possessions.
This quarter, 4 goals to 1, Essendon's way. They're out by 13 points, their biggest lead of the afternoon. Close to half-time, 28 minutes gone. We're back in the centre and underway. Alessio and McDonald. McDonald charges at it, wins it down to Voss. Tied up by Hurd and Jason Johnson. Now Ackermanis there. Hurd paddles it on. Pike of Brisbane up. Oh, went for McVeigh, enabled Brad Scott. He's caught. Hurd will emerge. Hand pass off. Here go Essendon. Mercury to Ramanauskas. Can't juggle the mark. Recovers clever. Handball to Blumfield. Handball Mercury. They're looking good. Lucas! Markson will kick from 50. They may get another one.
Well, again, it's that centre square scrapping and just scratching and clawing them back, and Essendon were able to win the turnover and clear possession.
Well, we thought on a hot day that it would be an open flowing game, but it's become an arm wrestle, and you will not beat Essendon in an arm wrestle.
Terry, just one thing. That sun's gone in behind the clouds. It's a lot cooler here now. If that was direct sun, could have an impact. I think this has suited Essendon also.
Lucas directly in front. Darryl White, the man on the mark, 45 metres out. Lucas to kick from 50, looking for his third goal. Close, misses, left-hand side. A let off for Brisbane. 29.5 minutes, second quarter. Essendon by 14 points, 7-6-48. Lions 4-10-34 Pulse scoreboard.
But that's the pressure of the game, and where they're cancelling each other out. So this is going to go a long, long way towards the wire.
Gee, Brisbane players breaking far too early from the huddle. Their timing's out.
Chris Johnson, a bit itchy, kicked it outside 50, long ball, White. McCurry over the top, running onto it. Pike was taken about by Lloyd. Over the top, Lucas, hand pass towards Johnson. Was Moorcroft, he couldn't get it going. Running out, Johnson was cleaned up. The ball went over the boundary line. How are the umpires going now? You were critical of them.
Oh no, it's only one decision. I think they've done a pretty good job, and I just admire this Essendon side and their ability to put pressure on tackle and not give space for the opposition.
Huge contrast. Last week's umpiring, the three best are doing it today. Knocked out by Bo McDonald, went down towards Pike. He was tied up by McCurry. And the umpire, Scott McLaren, will do it again.
Essendon coaching staff have identified pre-game that Darryl White and Chris Johnson were the two suspect defenders in the Brisbane lineup, and they've tried to expose them as well as they could. Till half-time, they've done a pretty good job.
Approaching half-time, the Bombers are 48. The Lions are 34. The ball on the left half forward flank, Ackermanis. The pressure is immense. Rioli. I spoke to his father up there at Melville Island last year, and he said the kid was broken-hearted. The kid today's in a grand final. You don't get that chance every day, young man. You could have still been a Tobin.
His dad hired a minivan to get down here with the family. From the throw-in, it's a throw by White of Brisbane. Moorcroft will take it 70 out.
Shocking work by Darryl White.
2 minutes to go in the half. Moorcroft goes wide. Lucas marks 55 metres out.
And you got White and Johnson wanting to argue with the umpire every time something goes against them. Lee Matthews can't wait to get them at half-time, I'm sure.
But by that stage, they could be 20 points down. Currently, it's 14. Lucas 55 out. You fancy he's a couple of metres too far. He pops it up to the goal square. Oh, it's going. He's got the distance. He's kicked a goal! How about that? 3 goals, Scott Lucas. And the Bombers are 20 points clear. 32 minutes, second term. Essendon 8-6-54. Lions 4-10-34. Tony Shaw, White's been dragged.
See that, Dennis?
You're right. White's being dragged. Michael's come back on, and I just saw Nigel Lappin's been off the ground for 8 minutes, and it's just come on to replace Notting.
Well, White came off with Notting. Notting's walking along the boundary with the team psychologist, and he said, "Come on, Darryl, let's go." And he just gave him the 2-finger and went and sat down on the bench. That is not a good sign.
To Bondi in a minute. It's been a while since they've been in this trouble at half-time. Knocked out. It went out. Voss is desperately trying. The ball out the back. Power was besieged. He's got a free kick across the shoulder. A little bit soft. I'd say that Power actually just waltzed into Hardwick, and they got a free kick. Power, long ball down, looking for Black. Black now inside 50, left half forward flag. Not a well man. Black did it well. Picked it up, put it across his body, and here comes Lynch. Lynch has got a chance to get one back and must kick this goal.
Got to kick the goal, Rex. He's only about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. Bondi, what's he kicked?
Alistair Lynch, 1 goal, 3 today, Rob. Brisbane's only goal this quarter came at the 21-minute mark.
I hope he doesn't kick it 80 metres high.
Keep it low, son.
So Lynch, he is outside with the kick, but it comes back beautifully for a goal. Lynch has kicked 2. And my goodness gracious, didn't they need that on the Pulse Assess scoreboard? Approaching half-time, Essendon 8-6-54. Lions are 5-10-40. It's a 14-point ball game, and that's better than 20.
Almost that'd be the most important goal of the half, I reckon, from Brisbane's point of view. Now, Michael's going to go and play on Lloyd. Lloyd straight away goes down to the goal square, which means Lepich is freed up, and he looks like he might even push forward for this last minute or so of play. They want to get a bit more drive out of their back half.
I don't mind Michael playing on Lloyd. I thought that had happened pre-game, and as you called it, Lepich has gone forward.
forward.
Brisbane will play a 9-man forward line if Essendon want to play a 9-man back line.
Blood rules and boundary throw-in, stretching this quarter out to 34 minutes, but the siren will come, you'd think, within the next 60 or so seconds.
Set up for Lloyd if Essendon can win this out of the middle.
Is there time either way? Alessio McDonald wins it down to Voss. Handball to Hart. Lost it, gets it back. Handball Chris Scott. Handball Voss. Is there time for Brisbane? Voss kicks it up to half forward. The bounce eludes McRae. Taken by Caracella. Kicks to Blumfield. Goes over his head. Power marks. Goes wide. Ashcroft. Rioli to beat. Ball goes behind them. Jonathan Brown gathers 75 out. Handball's off to Ashcroft. Will he know? He decides to pop it up. Can they get a mark on 50? Bombers with numbers. And they've got the mark, Jacobs.
Yeah, they had to get a contest, Brisbane. They had to have someone at least try and get the ball to ground.
Jacobs goes towards Hurd, and that's it. Half-time in the 2001 AFL Grand Final. Hurd and Chris Scott say hello. Rare to see the Bombers skipper get involved in extracurricular activities after a siren, but the umpires are quick to separate them, and the crowd will catch their breath because this grand final, boy, is it set up for the next hour. At half-time, Essendon, having trailed by 5 points at quarter-time, lead by 14 points at half-time. 8-6-54 to Brisbane, 5-10-40. Scott Lucas, the star up forward for Essendon with 3 goals. Matthew Lloyd with 2, 1 each to Jason Johnson, Gary Moorcroft and Blake Caracella, while for Brisbane, Alistair Lynch has kicked 2 goals. Singles for Power, Ackermanis and Brown.
For the Brisbane side.
The Bombers by 14 points, and Alessio went early. Keating went behind him. Over the top it came. The ball now, Jason Johnson down to the left half forward. Dr. Christian Barnard was the tackler. It went out there to Rioli, got it back to Caracella. The night spot went long in towards half forward, and Lucas is up. Nearly a mark to the orange roughie. Running onto it over there, Black. It went over the top, knocked on by Johnson of Brisbane. Oh, Voss cleaned up Lucas, and he's down, and so's Hurd. Hurd's down, but off the back, Scott in towards the centre of the ground. Clean bowl, everyone. Oh, Mr. Hardwick. He put it over the back. Rioli's going to take 2, but there's Rioli's free kick. Rioli's free kick. What happened to Hurd?
He got hit. What happened? Voss hit Lucas, and Lucas cannoned into Hurd.
Rioli, the boy from Melville Island. Pallarumpi's his hometown. Kicked a long ball. Lloyd punts away. Mel Michael over the top. There was Solomon. Solomon hand pass across to Lloyd. He's pulled it too far, and it's marked. No, it's tapped through by Johnson. No talking because no one was in a bee's diaphragm of him. And the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds in the right forward pocket for the Bombers. They lead by 14. A minute and a quarter into the third term today.
Bombers deep in attack. Alessio and Keating. Keating wins it down. Ramanauskas will get there first. Black's got him. Handball Ramanauskas to Jason Johnson. Chip kick Lucas and Lepic. Lepic knocks it down, gathers. Bangs boot to ball quickly, relieves pressure to the outer wing, but it bounces over the head of Chris Scott. Jacobs of Essendon with Wellman. Jacobs peels off to Shepherd. Wellman's got the footy. Handball to Jacobs. Punches it to the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in on the outer wing.
What Brisbane have done, they put Darryl White across half forward flank. Wellman's his opponent. Lepic has gone to centre half back on Scotty Lucas. Mel Michael to full back on Lloyd.
Brisbane to the city end in this third quarter, trailing by 14 points from the throw-in. Alessio wins it down back to the line, and we'll do it all again.
Essendon's only lost 3 third quarters for the whole season. I think by 3/4 time we'll know the winner of this game, and I think Matthew Lloyd is the key player of the quarter.
And Ramanauskas doing a terrific job with Ackermanis.
Right in front of Steve and Terry Bracks on the outer side of the ground. Centre wing Alessio got it out. Boss, but not a well man, got it off. Jason Johnson's a star, kicked it inside towards Lloyd and Michael. Lloyd backing back. Michael got a fingernail to it. It went out of bounds in the right forward pocket down there. And up in the stand, there's Wayne Jackson and Ron Evans. And they are from the AFL. And in the middle, the seat is unoccupied. Little Johnny yet to come back from his cup of tea.
Boundary throw in. Essendon pressing. Boy, the first goal here would really make it tough for Brisbane. Lucas caught, couldn't get boot to ball. Stacks on the mill. Brisbane a chance. Pike can't control it. Near the line. Essendon keep it in. Brad Scott fumble. Rioli's got him. A bounce in the pocket.
Bit of fumbling. Chris Johnson knocks the ball through when he could have marked it. Real uncertainty in the Brisbane minds at the minute.
When there's a ruck contest in Essendon's forward line, Voss's opponent, Heffernan, runs to the goal square. Voss realises I've got to go and cover him. It's a good ploy because it just means Voss isn't around the action.
Yeah, taken out of the contest. Keating and Alessio. Alessio wins it down. Lappin caught. Barnard the tackle. Umpire Ellis says held to him. A bounce 20 out from Brisbane's goal.
What Essendon are doing to Voss, I don't reckon that'd happen with James Hird up the other end of the ground. You know, Voss should be able to yell out to someone and say, hey, you get back here, I'm getting back into the thick of it, so it's not good management.
Alessio and Keating once more. Can the Bombers break it open? Keating wins it down. Lucas, left foot banana. High ball misses everything. Out of bounds on the full. The scores remain Essendon 54, the Lions 40, 4 minutes third term.
Been good, Lucas. He's stepped up the last 2 weeks we've seen him. He's probably their best against Hawthorn or close to it. Really stood up in the absence of Hird, and today he's in the big stage, 3 goals up to half-time.
Paul Keating, Brisbane outside 50 with a long kick. It was a 9-iron. He chucked it a bit outside there. Punched away from Barnard, and the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds near a red and white car manufacturing sign in opposition to Nissan.
Ackermanis has not touched the ball since he dropped the ball early in that second quarter. He's got to lift. The Brownlow medalist has to play a game for him.
The ball now spinning back into play, and going up in ruck will be Lucas against Paul Keating. Keating from behind, Lloyd over the top, was sharked by Lappin. Beautiful smother, running onto it. Ackermanis, he's over the top. Hurd's quick hands went out towards Razamataz. Ramanassis got it on towards Lucas for a long shot behind the stick. They're rampaging Essendon. They get another one. It could really take the whole wind out of the Lions. Essendon 8-7-55, Lions 5-10-40. I reckon the Lions are showing the pressure at the moment.
Chris got in the forward line for the Lions. He kicked goals last week when he played up there in the absence of Alistair Lynch.
They can't find any spare free ground, Brisbane, and that is credit to Essendon's pressure.
Johnson to the broadcast side. Lappin and Notting strong hands in front of Masudi Marks.
Good to see Notting on.
15 scoring shots apiece. 15 points the difference. Notting up to Hard, allows it to bounce. Sold the dummy on Hardwick, slipped over, caught by Hardwick, gets the kick away, it's out on the full.
That's an example of it. Got turned inside out by Hart, and then Hart he slowed down and Hardwick ran him down.
Hardwick will take the free kick beneath the members' stand. Essendon by 15 points.
Someone like that Hart's used to having some time and space to set up the kick. Haven't got any.
Hardwick squares it up for Carousella, who marks goes short. Moorcroft marks in the middle. Can play on.
Controlling the tempo, the Bombers.
Goes out wide. Fletcher marks on the outer wing. No one behind him. All 36 players in the Bombers half. He goes towards Solomon and Brown. Brown one, grab two. Marks, but he's at centre half back as the centre half forward for Brisbane. Waits wide to the outer side. Chris Scott and brother Brad, the twins there. Rioli gets in the way to knock it down. Brad Scott shepherds him away. Chris Scott the footy. Brisbane away. Handball Ashcroft. 75 out, closing. A bounce. 55 out. Ashcroft goes for it. Going. Goal! If you are looking for a spark, it is the 30-year-old veteran from Southport who delivers. One of the veterans of the team, his 268th game. Goal to Ashcroft, 9-point margin, 7 minutes third term. Divine Pioneer home scoreboard. Essendon 8-7-55, Brisbane 6-10-46.
And a goal with his first kick in the grand final. He didn't get a kick in the first half.
Well, and the first time again for the quarter that they've had some space to run with the footy. First time.
Did they need that?
Yeah, they did.
7 minutes in the third quarter, inside 50s, Bondi, for this term.
3-1, Essendon's way.
If this game opens up, Brisbane will win.
Got the run, haven't they? Essendon have bottled it up well to this stage.
So 9 points the Bombers lead. Nicely poised it is. It's on a knife's edge over the top. Alessio, but little boy Hart got it through. Here come Brisbane again. Running through Paul Keating, but turned over to Solomon. Quick hands to Dr. Christian Barnard. He tapped it on. Clean ball, Rioli. A turnover. White in and out of pressure. He took a bounce and kicked it low down towards Notting. Notting wasn't there. He got a high tackle.
Soft free, I reckon.
That is a big call, umpire.
It was a shocking kick by Darryl White, and it put his Brisbane teammate Notting under pressure. We'll have a look at it. Pretty soft.
One of the longest kicks in this Brisbane side is Notting, but that, well, White, a bit of magic from Darryl White through the middle of the ground again, won himself some space, and if they, I reiterate, if Essendon can keep the pressure on and keep them closed up, they'll win. That opens up, the side will get them.
24 goals this year, Notting, Gary. You say he's a long kick, he'll have to roost this a long way.
He's a thumping kick of the footy, this
He's
kid.
gone back further than Wes Hall, and he used to run from Jack Cameron's stats pace. The ball now comes in with a long kick that goes off the left, and going up is Lynch, higher than Joe Cocker. Punched away, Chris Scott runs onto it, Solomon lines him up, he can't get it. Picked up over there in a hand pass towards Ashcroft, he was tied up after Luke Power got it to him. But Dr. Christian Barnard, tough, he's a nut. He kicked it outside and the ball went over the boundary line on centre wing in front of an appreciative crowd.
Gee, what did Ashcroft do when he had the foot? He just ducked his head and got smashed. One umpire looked at the other, said, "Are you going to play it?" He said, "No, I'm not."
Dean Solomon lucky, he went the man instead of the footy, and Scott ran straight past him.
Throw in, no Essendon ruckman there, so Ramanauskas wins it down. 10 metres under Barnard, he overruns it. Lappin there, dropped it, caught. Oh, could be costly, Bombers away. Heffernan goes short, Jason Johnson marks 55 out, won't goal. Alessio one out against Notting. Go to him, go to the big fella. He does. Alessio, don't let your man down in the goal square, should mark. Can't, well done Notting.
He needed to come around and take a run at it.
Well done Notting. Concedes a behind for the Bombers. Their lead is 10 points, 8-8-56. Brisbane 16-46.
You called the boundary throw in. Ramanauskas had to go for it because big Cess Alessio, he didn't go there. He ran to the goal square. He punted on Essendon winning the footy, which they did. They got it long to the goal square. Notting flew from behind to get a fist on it.
Alessio had to come over the top of him, but this is Johnson. He's got it out lapping. Now they've got some space. Our experts say here, give him some space, and running into it down there, Simon Black. But it was a shocking kick. Knocked on by Hardwick. Coming through. Solomon breaks the tackle on Brown. Left foot down to the half forward flank. This is Moorcroft. Oh, he went for Barnard, but Carousella said, give it to me. Carousella gave it to Barnard. Dr. Christian Barnard's lined it up, and he's offline out of bounds on the full. Oh, it's tough, it's rugged. Mistakes will come forth, no doubt. This is a great game of footy.
Michael brings it back into play quickly because Harder's all alone on half-back. He marks, has a bounce, runs to the wing, kicks Brisbane to half-forward. Mark Johnson of Essendon there, crashes the pack, knocked it down to Wellman. Handball back to Johnson, Mark. Handball off to Alessio, handball to Mercedes, handball to Hardwick. Look out, Pike's got him, no. Ducks the tackle, Hardwick away, kicks to Barnard, allows it to bounce, goes short to Jason Johnson, marks, no one on the mark, he plays on, goes for Lloyd waits, goes over his head, oh at the back Chris Johnson, allowed it to bounce, it was risky but it worked, handball to Voss chips it to Leppich marks and can play on, Pike riding shotgun, Leppich a bounce, drives Brisbane up to half forward and Lynch marks. Backing themselves Brisbane, running and bouncing the footy.
Game's opened up.
55 out, Lynch unloads to the goal square, what a kick! Just misses to the near side. Alistair Lynch, 2 goals for this afternoon. Brisbane, 11 minutes third term, trail by 9 points. Essendon 8-8-56. Brisbane 6-11-47. Divine Pioneer home scoreboard.
Fletcher to himself, and he ran 4 metres and kicked it long to a contest. Now Lucas has got to go. Behind him, Notting the Hill couldn't get it, but this is Jason Johnson, went for the boundary and found touch in front of the coach's box where Lee Matthews is sitting, trying to make his team just understand that these opportunities don't come around every year. The ball now spinning back into play. Alessio up against Paul Keating. Keating from behind got it down. Voss overran the ball. Carousella. Voss went in for the second effort, picked up by Power. Here goes a go for Lynch. Oh, beautiful. Marked by Bill Jacobs.
Very good, Jacobs.
Billy Jacobs has done well. Hand passes it off towards Not-a-Well man. Oh, White, good tackle, but here come Essendon. They've got to go now with Lucas marking at centre half back.
Bombers by 9 points, 12 minutes gone. He switches to the broadcast side for Barnard, who marks on half back. Goes to Mark Johnson. He marks. Has Alessio short. Goes longer to Hurd. This will test Jimmy. Ball near the boundary line. He's in front. He was pushed in the back by Brad Scott. It's fair. It's a throw in.
12-minute mark, Shorey. Jason Johnson off. He's had 8 possessions already in the third term, and they've taken him off for a spell.
Yeah, and Barnes came on, and also Copeland replaced Notting. I think they're just trying to rotate them a bit now. They just lost the plot in the last 5 to 10 minutes, Robert, and Brisbane, it's opening up and they're getting the better across the ground.
Rory Lucas is coming off through the blood rule, and I see Moorcroft as well. McVeigh and Mercury, the men on.
Yeah, both go into the midfield, I would think.
They've got to get Lucas back on the ground. He looks likely to be best on the ground the way things are going. Lepich is giving him too much space.
13 minutes of the third quarter of the grand final, and it's a line ball game. Essendon by 9 points. Boundary throw in from behind. Keating of Brisbane wins it down. Mercedes there. The ball bouncing, tantalising away. He gives a handball on to Barnard. Handball to Mercury. Dodges Lappin. Handball to Mark Johnson. Handball Barnard. Handball Mark Johnson. Essendon away. Kicks to half forward. Lloyd. Michael over the top. Knocks it down. Hart near the boundary line. Blumfield, good tackle. Copeland's gone down. Boundary throw in on 50. How does he look, Gary?
Shoulder, left shoulder, I reckon, caught up in that huge leap by Mel Michael. Just might have got into the shoulder of Copeland. Big knee into the back of the left shoulder. So
AC joint.
Yeah, it might be.
I reckon it's out.
Yeah, a bit further around.
No, it's dislocated, I reckon.
So they should get him off. They're getting him off now.
Yeah, that's dislocated.
Oh, she's sticking out like a cliff out the side of his thing. That's no good. So the trophy comes off young Copeland. Here's Tony Shaw.
Yes, and Notting's come on to replace him. It looks like Lucas will be on very quickly. They've strapped him up again, Rexy.
No one inside 54 Brisbane. Their forward line very open. You've got Black and Hard.
Free kick off the ball.
Yep.
Going Essendon's way. Didn't see it. The umpire behind the play gave
No one
it.
on the mark. Alessio runs. Nearly kicks it into the man on the mark, Pike, but a long ball down. Punched away by Mel Michael. Little boy Hart thumped it, but running onto it is Hart. Over there, White got a hand pass back to Keating. Keating hand pass to White. White hellicingly close to the ground. Chris Scott's tackle. Got it on a little boy Hart. Hand pass over the top to Voss, who had to wait for it. Good tied up over there by Blumfield. Running into trouble over there was Power. Power got it back towards White, who kicked it onto the wing. Black got a hand pass off, and here they go. Notting left half forward flank, kicked a long ball down towards half forward. Lynch is there, was clean ball, but Brown runs onto it. Brown can he get it up to Power, and he kicks a goal. My goodness gracious me, Luke Power's got the second. Now we got a ball game. Now this is what we've wished for since 1989. It gets down under a goal. It's half a goal the difference. Essendon 8-8, 56, brother. Lions 7-11, 53 to Vine Pioneer home scoreboard.
Well, all of a sudden this game that was such a tight contest played in close, it is just open up all over the ground at the moment. We haven't seen so much run with the ball all day, and there were 3 passages of play on that outer half-back flank for Brisbane. Voss and Chris Scott both got tackled, but they had the presence of mind, hold the footy clear, take the tackle, get a handball out.
Darryl White was good too, and that's good for his confidence and the team's confidence.
Essendon aren't gone, they are hanging in, but it's just they're starting to get a lot of momentum the Lions.
Hurd along with Heffernan, Barnard and Alessio in the centre for the Bombers as it's bounced down. Alessio to Hurd. Tackled ball will be bounced again in the centre circle. Terry Wallace on 3RW.
How good is Michael Voss? That one out that outer side. He was tackled by 3 men. His arms were virtually vertical above his head and still managed to be able to get the hand pass off.
James Hurd hasn't had a kick in since the first quarter.
Wow. Yeah, he just doesn't. Well, he's moving all right, but whether he's got the ability to push himself to places where we know he can go, you're just not sure.
Ackerman has pushed into the forward 50.
Essendon by 3 points. Open forward line. There's a lot of players around the full here, so if a team can break away. Ball is one down near Mercedes. Hurd there. Couldn't control it. Chris Scott likewise. Brown of Brisbane. Caught. Good tackle. Barnard. A third bounce coming up in the middle.
Is there some similarities with this game with the Kangaroos versus Adelaide game, where Kangaroos were the tougher ones, Adelaide run over the top of them?
Possibly. I just don't get the feeling that they're going to get blown out of the water, Essendon. I think they're too brave and too good and they'll hang in, but it's a bit ominous.
Now Heffernan floating forward. They pick him up. Bounce. Keating perhaps. Lappin caught. Barnard tackle. Dive in. A fourth bounce in the middle. Boy, it's tight now. Robert Walls.
Darryl White's on the wing position with Wellman. I reckon if I was Darryl, I'd go into the forward line. You don't want Wellman having ascendancy and control. White push into the forward line. Make yourself dangerous. Force Wellman to go and cover you. White in the midfield with Wellman. I fancy Wellman's chances.
Who will crack first? Game on a knife's edge. White attempted to win it down. Alessio got it down to Wellman. Left foot kick. Lloyd in front. Got it. And he'll kick from 50 to line up his third, the Coleman medalist.
Well, Woolsey, you couldn't have written that script better, because at the stop play with 16 blokes around, it was Wellman that went in. White stayed out, won the footy. Michael lost his footing a little bit, and Lloyd took the grab.
White actually went for the jump over the ruckman and just completely missed the ball, so it left Essendon with one extra bloke on the ground.
This bloke won't miss. He is as good a kick for goal, I reckon, as I've seen, and his shape is lining up for his third. 4 goals in a grand final, I reckon, is worth 6 or 7 in any other game.
Essendon haven't kicked a goal this quarter at the 18-minute mark.
Important kick this.
They've kicked just 2 behinds. Brisbane have added 2 goals, 1. The Brownlow medalist coming from the field, Ackermanis, to be replaced by McRae. All eyes on Matthew Lloyd. 50 metres out. The Coleman medalist kicks on its way. Wait. Goal! Matthew Lloyd. Essendon lead by 9 points. 19-minute mark, third term, Divine Pioneer home scoreboard. Essendon 9-8-62. Brisbane 7-11-53.
Matthew Lloyd, 3 goals, 1 Bondi.
3 goals, 1 to Matthew Lloyd, 7 kicks, 2 marks, a hand pass.
Alistair Lynch, 2 goals, 4.
2-4 at the other end from 7 kicks and 4 marks.
Makes a difference.
Yeah, it's significant, Woolsey. And the thing about this is we're into the 20-minute mark of the third quarter, so they're eating time up here. Goals at a premium. You can't see 2 or 3 being strung together.
The ball back in the centre. 9 points of difference, and here comes little boy Hardy. Kicked it out to a contest. Running in the race, Pike. Have a look at McCurry. He's putting them in, but Pike picked it up beautifully. Pike, now the veteran, kicked a long ball inside 50 towards Lynch. The ball off the top of the pack. McRae got taken about. Luke Power was hugged by Heffernan. And if they were dogs in the streets, you'd call the council. And here's Tony Shaw.
It's nice and tight down here, Rex, as McVeigh comes back on the ground and Hurd has gone to the bench. I think they're just resting him, hopefully for a big last quarter.
The ball spinning back into play. Right over the top, Paul Keating got it down to Voss. Voss ran into it. Oh, hand pass came out to Lappin. Lappin on the left, boots, kick the goal! Lappin's kicked his first. And back they come within 3 points. The Lions move on to 8-11-59. The Bombers are 9-8-62, 20 minutes gone on the Divine Pioneer home scoreboard at 8-day clock.
Well, that absolute champion, and you need your champions to stand up on grand final day. Michael Voss again was the man to get the ball out. We are watching a classic game between run and hardness. Every time it's tight, Essendon score. Every time it's opened up and the ball gets out in the clear, Brisbane score a goal.
Voss gone back to the goal square. Heffernan's gone down to cover him. Now it looks like Wellman, Gary.
Yeah, Wellman leaves the wing position to go on to Voss, so Essendon lose a bit of drive, but they just rate Voss too highly. They're prepared to sacrifice the run of Wellman to have probably their second best defender play on it.
And Gary, Hurd is on the bench and they are rubbing his groin area, so not good signs at the moment for Essendon.
From the bounce, Keating of Brisbane wins it down. Brown knocked it on, but Lucas there caught by Black. Barnard gathers the ball off the turf. Handball straight to Notting of Brisbane. Handball to Black. Here they go. He slips over, gets up, kicks up to the 50. Voss running it down. Bouncing ball, important here. Power paddles it to Lappin. Goes to ground. Handball to space. Fletcher fielded. Handball to Hardwick. Oh, gets away. Well done, Hardwick. Kicks to midfield. Chance for McVeigh. Pushed out of it by Hart. Hart brought down. Chris Scott. Fumble. Kick smothered by Solomon. Could be important. Solomon handball to Caracella. Drips a kick out wide. McCurry eyes for the footy. Johnson does well. Knock it away. Chris Johnson of Brisbane up from the outer wing. Up to half forward. Good kick. McRae marks. Can't goal from here. 65 out. Waits for a lead. Goes towards the goal square. Brown! 15 metres out. Left forward pocket. Could give Brisbane the lead. Could give Brisbane the lead with perhaps his second goal. Tight angle.
Chris Johnson. Ordinary first half, much better in this third quarter. Looked like a certain Essendon score as it went forward. He was the one who was able to get the intercept, and then a bullet-like pass. Was it to McRae? I'm not sure, but gee, it was a good passage of play.
I like the kid Brown. Solomon's been terrific as well. It's been a great contest between 2 hard kids. Solomon won the footy through the middle of the ground and then turned it over at half back and got caught out on the way back. This kid he keeps hunting the footy, wants to be involved, be the sort of bloke that want to kick after a siren.
Lions haven't led since 5-minute mark of the second term. Brown to put them in front. 30 out, kicks. Goal! final. It is a grand final. Brisbane 9-11, Essendon 9-8, 3 points the difference. Divine Pioneer home scoreboard, 23-minute mark, third quarter.
It's interesting, Brown coming off the ground for Bradshaw. We had a rule in our side that if a guy kicked a goal, that you abort that actual situation. So we would have called it. That would have been called from the box before Brown took the mark and goal. I think they ought to abort those and just let the kid get on with playing footy.
Well, he's in good form. It's a big game. They'll need him the last quarter. The next goal becomes super critical and vital here.
Bradshaw, centre-half forward, Barnard on him.
3 points the difference, 23 and a half minutes gone. Oh, fresh air shot. This is Smoke and Joe. They've all got a left. Carousella. He got Razamataz. Ramanastis kicked it long down to Lucas and Lloyd. Punched away Mel Michael Rioli, who's offset. Hand pass by McCurry. Smoke and Joe was smothered. Off the top comes Ashcroft. Now Brisbane lead on towards a contest on the centre wing. Out comes Mr. Hardwick. Beautiful smother over there by McRae. Running onto it, McRae over the top of the footy. Tough, rugged pike up in at someone. And umpire Matthew James crosses himself and will put it down on the boundary on centre wing members' side.
Hurd floated on there for McCurry.
Mr. Hardwick's been rock solid across half there.
He's rock solid, all right. Bang! The ball now goes down. Righto, so they say. The ball now over the boundary line and out of bounds. Crack flees on it. And approaching three-quarter time. The Bombers are in trouble. Lions at 9-11-65. Essendon 9-8-62. And the ball spinning back into play.
From centre wing, one down by Darryl White. Off hands, White follows it up. Caught by Heffernan. White's handball stolen by Ramanauskas. Handball, Jason Johnson kicks out on the full. Rid of the pressure of Pike.
I'm just looking at the Essendon forwards. I mean, they are looking into a really bright sun at the moment. It becomes difficult for Lloyd. That may be a factor in the last quarter. You just don't know.
Keating will take the free. Goes backwards to a degree to square it up. Chris Johnson takes the mark. What a last quarter we're in for.
4 goal to 1 quarter this third term, Brisbane's favour.
They've got a taste. You can just tell in some of their players the way they've chased the last couple of minutes. They've just actually got a taste that we can win this.
Good lead, Bradshaw. Johnson hits him. What a pass.
Yeah, they've got composure. He didn't bomb away Johnson. He waited and waited and waited. Bradshaw's doing the same thing. He's about 85 metres out from goal.
Now, Chris Scott peeling off Hurd. That's ignored. Voss.
They do turn it over. They're in a bit of trouble.
Ashcroft marks on the logo. A squaring kick by Bradshaw. The Brisbane chant going up around the MCG.
I reckon if they've got a bit of momentum, they should just keep attacking here.
Yeah, go longer, Crackers Keating.
Ashcroft, the only man in Essendon's half of the ground. Boy, wouldn't want to kick it in the man on the mark, would you?
No.
Ashcroft from the wing is going to bomb it long to a contest. Can they pull down a mark? Bradshaw leads!
Brute strength.
50 metres out, will line up his third. Can he kick this, Gary?
Well, he's had plenty of opportunity, but he hasn't looked like it. I reckon he kicks best when he doesn't think too much about it. So if he just goes back here, good luck. The fact he barrels away, he's a better chance.
2 goals for today. 50 out, right half forward. Misses, won't be a score. Keating a chance over the top. Almost nodding, not quite. Ramanauskas knocks it down to Mark Johnson. Dodges one, twists by 2. Handball to Heffernan. Kick not good. Hart marks between Lucas and McVeigh. Brisbane are building. 26 minutes gone. Hart 70 out. Goes short.
Little boy Hart gets it across there. Now this is Notting. Notting runs the 50. Got nowhere to go. Gives it back to little boy Hart. Hart will have to come back and give it over to Chris Scott. Chris Scott will go now left-footed and over towards the left half forward flank and give it back to the hill in Notting.
They just don't want to turn the ball over, Rex, so they'll go inside out, backwards, sideways. They just don't want to turn the ball over. 26 and a half minutes into the third.
So the ball now kicked inside 50 and Lynch goes up and right from behind it goes over the boundary. No, it's behind the stick. Pioneer Divine home scoreboard. Lions 9-11-65. Essendon 9-8-62. I tell you what, Aaron, if you can paint the floor in this, you're a better handyman than me.
How is your wife today, Robert?
I said she could have the day off.
I just turn it up, Rob. Don't go soft on them. That is the start of the end.
They've got to lock it in Brisbane because they've got no backline in place.
No.
27 minutes gone. Fletcher, well, he decides to unload it. Almost land in the centre circle. Alessio on their way. Handball to Hurd. Kicks to half forward. Lloyd, one out. Michael can't bring it down. You're under the pump, Michael. He's dragged off it illegally by Lloyd.
Done well, Mel Michael. He stood up there. He's got great, as Terry said, body strength.
He decides to go across the face of goal. The bounce eludes Darryl White, but he has time and support. Gathers it. Handball off to Lappin. Defensive side of the wing. Loose man and half forward. Keating marks. Plays on. Handball to Voss. Wellman to beat. Goes to the pocket. Leaders on for Lynch. He's taken a wonderful mark, but he's on the boundary line, 40 out. He'll have to pass it off. 28 minutes gone, third term. They have been long quarters today. Brisbane by 4 points, crowded inside 50. Lynch looks for options.
Go back, settle yourself down, have a shot for goal. He's only about 35 out. It's a 50-50 chance to goal, I reckon, from a league footballer there.
A banana or a drop punt, Robert?
Oh, drop punt.
He doesn't kick the miraculous very often also.
MCC members pocket. He's standing 2 metres beyond the boundary line now. Fletcher on the mark is 35 out. 28 and a half minutes gone. He's still looking. He passes. Oh, it's over the head of Pike. Good kick though. And Chris Johnson is there, but he's 60 metres out. So they'll need to pass it again or go long to a contest. Time running out. 28-40. Johnson for Lappin. Great patience, good kick.
Done it well, and Lappin has taken the mark at the true centre-half forward position, dead set in front. He'll kick from about 50 metres out. He's not the most reliable kick in the world, but gee, you reckon he'd kick this 3 out of 4, Gary?
Yeah, I reckon he's a chance, a great chance. Chris Johnson's field kicking this quarter has been superb.
Has kicked a goal a game this season, Nigel Lappin, including one today from 50. He's got number 2. Shadows of three-quarter time, the Brisbane Lions have opened up their biggest lead since the opening term. 29 and a half minutes gone. Divine Pioneer home scoreboard. Brisbane 10-12-72. Essendon 9-8-62.
Well, the game's played in precision at this level. It's absolute precision. I would have thought Carousella thought he had Lappin covered off. He was only 3 or 4 metres behind, but the kick from Johnson was just absolutely drilled inside 50, found its target, and Lappin did the rest.
Boys, Lucas has come off the field, and it's not for the blood rule this time. There's no doubt that he just hadn't had a touch in this quarter or got a lot of the ball.
Barnard gone forward for Essendon.
Jason Johnson on a back flank on McRae now. That's not something that Essendon would like. They need him in the guts.
The Bombers can't concede another goal. Need to score themselves. Over the top, Keating got it down. Black across his body. White stands up and beautiful mark attempted by Mark Johnson. Now White over the top. They look a bit tired of me, Essendon. Knocked on by Pike. Here go the Lions again. This is Chris Scott. Kicked a long ball in towards half goal. And Nilia marked the Lynch play on. It's going to be over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Gary, can you understand why they would have taken Jason Johnson first off the ground and why he would be in the middle of the ground?
I can understand when they took him off because he has run himself ragged for a spell, but bring him back on and put him in the action.
Deep into attack for the Brisbane Lions at the scoreboard. And Alessio got it, kicked it outside 50, but all Lions it is. Knocked on by McVeigh. Scott tackled by Rioli. The ball spills clear. This is Voss. He gave it across to Ashcroft. Ashcroft goes in and kicks a long ball down towards Brandon Keating.
No.
Play on, said the umpire. He tried valiantly, but Pike comes out and kicks a goal. That could be the dominant goal in this game. Pike, like a plodding draft horse, has come across his left side and blown him out to a 16-point advantage, approaching the last change. Lions are rampaging at the moment. They are 11-12-78 and Essendon are 9-8-62. Pioneer Divine home scoreboard. Big trouble, Bombers now.
6 goal to 1 quarter Brisbane's way. Inside 50s, Bondi.
Inside 50s this quarter, 12-9. Out of the centre though this quarter, it's now 6-2.
2 blokes we were critical of at half-time. White and Johnson have turned it round. White has been superb.
Yeah, 7 touches to White and Chrissy Johnson this quarter with 6.
Brisbane's biggest lead today. Alessio won it down, but Hart knocked it on for Brisbane. Carousella caught by Ackermanis, who handballs inside 50. Pike again, had it knocked away. Look out, Heffernan. Handballs to space. Jason Johnson, handball Mercedes. Oh, he's caught by 3 Lion players. Chris Scott gets a handball out, stolen by Heffernan. Handball too slick for Alessio, holding on Essendon free.
Gee, they got swamped. They look a little slow. Their leg speed catching up with them.
32-20 gone this quarter. Heffernan on half-back. Goes out very wide. Rioli, you've got to go. He can't get there. Mark taken Ashcroft.
He's lifted his game. Ashcroft only had one possession in the first half, killing him now.
Yeah, 5th kick for the quarter.
Ashcroft to Brad Scott. Defensive side of the outer wing. Chips it to the true wing for his twin brother, Chris. They ignored the parade and played golf yesterday. Chris Scott squares it up for White. White marks in the centre square. Is there time for one more? 33 minutes gone. White to Chris Johnson in the centre circle.
They're just dictating terms here. They're controlling the tempo.
They won't get a goal.
He's going to have a shot.
And he slipped over. For those of you through Hot FM and 4BC who aren't usually with us, Robert doesn't usually swear. But it's a great afternoon and you can understand him.
He's hurt himself too.
For doing that. Chris Scott slipped over. Well, they say that great teams pass great tests. And if Essendon want to truly be considered as one of the all-time great teams, they are going to have to pass a very big test this afternoon. With a quarter to play in the grand final, the Brisbane Lions lead by 16 points after a 6-goal to 1 term. They lead 11-12-78 to Essendon 9-8-62.
And he puts the air conveyance into the atmosphere and comes in and goes bang. Here we go for the championship quarter. Brisbane come out and a beautiful kick forward down there by Voss to the right half forward flank. This is Simon Black. Buffeting off him was Freddie Mercury. Can't get it. Hands and knees. Ashcroft, they might tie it up here. Ackermanis outside 50 across towards Brown, but good mark down there by Solomon. Played on to Mercury. Mercury over the top to Fletcher. Fletcher outside 50 with a long bomb. 2-on-1. Voss nearly a screamer. He's close to the boundary line. He's tackled and the ball went over the boundary line and out of play.
Some big names you called in that passage of play, Rexy. Voss, Black, Ackermanis.
Pike at full back on Alessio, signalling to the bench, do you want me back here?
Boundary throw in, Keating and Barnes. Goes to the back of the pack, Caracella, Essendon away. Caracella pops it up to half forward, Hurd in front, Brad Scott the spoil. Important ball here, Rove for Brisbane. Brad Scott, high one to centre half forward, Brown eyes for the footy on the mark. No, dropped another easy one there. Unbelievable. Heffernan away. Will it be costly? Goes to Blumfield. Handball Mercury in the middle. To the broadcast wing. Good kick. Barnes. Here go the Bombers. Has man short Caracella. He goes to Lucas. Should have gone to Caracella. Leppich marks.
He had two Essendon players, only one Brisbane player, and he kicked it straight to Leppich.
That sun we spoke of was a factor there. Brown, the player who dropped an easy mark, Clinton, but the sun right now is at its worst for the day. And for the forwards and defenders of Essendon, forwards of Brisbane, it becomes a difficult proposition.
Leppich to Pike. Now Pike, a high ball to the wing. Keating there. Wellman. Keating in front. Can't mark. Hart. Howard was tackled. Barnes likewise. No, he's tripped. Free kick Essendon on the wing. Barnes playing his final game unless it's a draw.
Get Pikey out of full back.
Yeah, he's not happy there.
Barnes drives Essendon inside 50. Can Lloyd or Lucas mark or Alessio? Knocked away Michael, he's done well. Voss handballs for the boundary line. Mercury will ensure that it stays in. Handball to Lucas, going to be caught. Is caught. Gets a handball away to space. Pike there for Brisbane. Tucks it under the arm. Bangs it to the wing. Nottingham Jacobs. Jacobs knocks it down. Handballs off. Wide of Barnes. Got to go John Barnes. Ackermanis is there. Rides the bump. No free kick. Darryl White caught. Wellman steals it. Essendon away. Wellman bangs Essendon inside 50.
Not a Wellman. Leppin mark of the day. Beautiful play. Coming back. That's guts and determination. Leppin marked it and kicked it to Voss and he'll settle it down right half-back flank.
I think Masidi might have Voss in all of this match-up and all the wash-up. That's a worry if you're an Essendon supporter, I think.
Just playing controlled footy. Look at this. Voss just a short pass to Johnson. They just won't give the ball up.
Johnson now will just transfer play and get it across to Chris Scott. Chris Scott marks it just between the wing position and half-back, and he'll now give it off to Lappin. They're sharing the ball around. They haven't got play on, said the umpire. Hand pass to Ackermanis and a long ball down to a Brown. Punched away, but here's the Bombers trying to turn it over. Heffernan gets it off to Moorcroft. Moorcroft to bounce in the centre of the ground. Runs the half forward and kicks it down to Lloyd. But Mel Michaels stood firm. Took a beautiful mark.
Hang on.
Holding the ball. No, said the umpire. Mel Michaels got it. He kicks it off to Pike, and they've got every answer at the moment as Pike brings it out and gets it out to Bradley Scott.
He marks, runs away from Alessio. The bounce is tricky for him, but he regathers it. Stalked by Alessio. Stalk like a deer in the headlights. Goes short for Keating. The big fella bends over, belts at the heart. Handball to Brad Scott. Not pretty but effective, Brisbane. Brad Scott to Notting, who marks on the wing below us.
They've been told keep possession, short pass, don't kick it to a contest unless you have to.
Like Collingwood against the Bombers back on Anzac Day. Notting bangs Brisbane inside 50. Tough in the sun. Lynch goes up. Fletcher knocked it away. Bounce eludes Voss. Voss follows it up. Gathers it. Caught by Mercedes. Chris Johnson now. Spirits a handball to White. Caught by Willman. A whistle. A Brisbane.
Chris Johnson.
Hang on. Could be reversed. Johnson upended Barnes. He upended Barnes after he'd been given the free. Not needed.
You've got to settle down, Chris Johnson. Settle down. You've got the free kick. You're about 55, 60 metres out. And he has settled down. Darryl White's taken control.
I tell you what, Robert, this bloke's had a great second half after that bad first quarter when he lost the plot, but gee, his last two quarters have been brilliant.
He's been terrific.
He's been up the ground a bit too, hasn't he? Cross half back and across the centre. So they'll be patient here. They'll look for something, try and chip short.
Johnson is 55 out, left half forward, going to the punt road end.
Keating and Barnes in the goal square.
They practice these chip kicks all week.
Lynch on a lead, White in the pocket. White! No! Fletcher knocked it down. Well done, Dustin Fletcher. Won't reach the boundary line though. Voss slips over 60 out. Handball to Chris Johnson. Brilliant. Do it this time, Chris. Snaps. Misses. Out to the right-hand side behind Brisbane. First score last quarter. 5 minutes gone. Brisbane 11-13-79. Their lead 17 points. Essendon 9-8-62. Rams scoreboard.
How do you know they've done those short kicks all week, Terry?
Just we keep a bit of an eye on what's going on up there.
So Fletcher kicked a long ball to a contest. Blumfield's up. Paul Keating punched it away at the fall of the ball. Now McRae got it across the little boy Hart, who kicked a high ball inside 50, and Ackermanis. He's over the top of Jacobs. Now it comes to McCurry. Can he keep it in? He does. He hand passed it to Razamataz. Ramanaskas quick hands to Smoke and Joe. Smoke and Joe Mercedes got it back to Ramanaskas. Now they've got some space on the outer left flank, and it was marked over there by Moorcroft. Put it down. Hand passed over the top to King Solomon. Solomon runs past the wing and kicks a long ball down. It was marked right there on the left half forward flank over there by Blumfield. Hand pass it back to Hurd. Hurd inside 50. Lloyd, a champion mark by a champion man, and Kenny single-handedly lift them over the line.
He'll kick it. I've got every confidence that Matthew Lloyd will kick this goal and bring it back to within 10 points or so. It was a great test of strength. Mel Michael's been very good when he pushed back to full back, but this bloke, dear star.
Lloyd is a consummate professional. They're not dead yet, the Bombers.
I just wonder whether Brisbane have changed their game too much in the past 5 or 10 minutes.
Been too much possession play.
Yeah, I reckon they had momentum by attacking the game, running and moving the footy on. I just think they
really somewhere along the line, because they trained on it all week. What they did last time against it was just chip short once they got the lead.
Will this just spark them rubbing the stick? Will the flame take from this spark? Lloyd from 40 metres has drilled it for a behind. I think it's a behind and an important miss.
It is.
Bombers are 9-9-63. Lions 11-13-79. It's 16 points of difference, the same as at three-quarter time.
I think they should attack. If Brisbane want to win, I think try and put another 2-goal difference between the two sides and really snuff out any chance.
Because you'd have to back their legs in a tight finish. Chris Johnson chips to himself laconically, has a couple of bounces, drives it long to the outer wing for Keating. He's outpointing Mercedes here. Can't trap it. Bombers a chance. Jason Johnson overruns it. Lappin in support knocked it out. Heffernan does well. Handball to Ramanauskas. Gathers in the centre square. Left foot kick. Perfect Lloyd. Kick it this time, Matty. On the run from 50. Goes for it. Going. Goal! He couldn't get the set shot, but on the run with Michael Voss lunging at him from 50, he drills it, and the the champs stay alive. 10 points the difference. 8 minutes final term Ram scoreboard. Brisbane 11-13, 79. Essendon 10-9, 69.
As much as what they can, they've got to keep Lloyd moving. I mean, I don't mind him coming from the goal square, but he's got to move on Mel Michael, when Mel Michael just couldn't go with him then on the second efforts.
Love Ramanascus' game today. I think he's been really good. Stood up, won enough of the footy.
Had the honours over Ackermanis.
Now we'll see what's happening. 10 points of difference in the grand final. Championship quarter. The Bombers went. Mercedes ran into Keating. Plown said the umpire. Across his body was Brown. Went out to the right half forward flank. Ashcroft's been held. Yeah. McCurry's given it away.
Heard Mercury, I heard.
You can't go into these matches against these brilliant young athletes from South Queensland. You can't go in not right. You need everything going for you, especially your fitness. Your ability's no good if you can't run.
91,482 ahead, 91,482.
So Ashcroft kicked a long ball to the right half forward flank. He was looking for Notting. Notting nearly got it. Black has tackled. Ball, says the crowd. No way, says the umpire, as Luke Power takes it across the boundary line. Right half forward flank just inside 50.
I reckon you're right, Gary. They're not playing with any risk or chance, Brisbane. It's just a bit too calculated. They're only 10 points up. It's a bit of a worry the way they're going.
From the throw-in inside 50, Brisbane, Notting handball. Here's a go. Black on the boundary line. Twists out onto the left. Finds an opening. Goes for it. Misses to the near side of a hind. Wow. Brisbane 11-14-80. Essendon 10-9, 69. 10 minutes final term. We've got the close grand final we wanted.
Fletcher. Short.
Thank you, Robert.
Sorry, Rex.
Because you're not caught short and you stay there not like a month ago smoking Joe to not a well man who is a well man. And Wellman off the half-back line goes onto the wing. Carousel, but beautiful play by Hart.
That wins grand finals.
Beautiful play. The advantage played to White when everyone, and here's the sealer. And Notting goes bang. Notting goes bang. Everyone had stopped thinking the ball would come back to little boy Hart. The umpire called advantage to White. He got it to Notting Hill. And from 30 metres, I think he's created history. That'll knock the socks off Essendon.
Well, if you're going to go and pat anyone on the head, go and pat that little bloke with that helmet, because that was as courageous an act as you're likely to see. He went back with no fear. And when grand finals, you need special efforts to win grand finals, and that was as courageous as you'll see.
He's nearly been best.
Sean Hart been magnificent. He's in for the centre bounce. Ackermanis is also there with Black. Bo McDonald doing the ruck work. That means that Voss has gone forward and Wellman is his opponent.
17 points the difference. Brisbane's way back in the centre. McDonald wins it down to Brown. Kicks Brisbane to half forward. Ashcroft in front of McCurry, bouncing near the line. Good work, Fletcher. Bumps Ashcroft out of it. Ball near the line, taken over by McCurry. Throw in 60 around from Brisbane's goal.
And the fact that James Hird hasn't been moved into the middle at any stage would suggest that he is battling big time.
Bombers need to catch up 3 goals in about 18 minutes. Throw in, Barnes from behind, couldn't win it down, loose ball. Mercedes goes to ground, ball squirts out, Willman brought to ground. Michael Voss lurking dangerously. Will have a bounce, 45 out from Brisbane's goal.
In a close game, you just can't look. You've got James Hird as a permanent forward. You've got McCurry playing on a half-back flank, just trying to hang in. You just can't win with 2 of your good players now.
If McCurry went forward, I'm sure Ashcroft would go with him. No point McCurry hanging around the half-back line for the Bombers.
Crowd chanting Lions. One down by McDonald. Solomon smothered. Brown working hard. Another bounce. No high tackle, Brisbane! Against Barnes.
This is it. Get the fat lady in.
Jonathan Brown will kick from 50.
And in pretty good hands too. He's feeling pretty sure in front of goal, this kid. The 2 big ruckmen, Clark and McDonald, or Keating and McDonald, are really starting to have an influence. Right from the word go, they got their hands on the footy, those 2 blokes. The smaller players didn't take advantage of it. And that's Johnny Barnes just trying to be a bit too exuberant.
Gary, I'm with you. Sean Hart's example to his teammates, no doubt gets him across the line in this grand final.
Wins games, Shorey, that sort of stuff. He knows he's going back where you're not supposed to go, but that's what you've got to do to win these days.
Well, the old Fitzroy supporters really did jump on board this week. How fitting would it be that this young 19-year-old, whose dad played for the old Fitzroy, midway through the last quarter, may kick the ceiling goal for the club's first ever premiership. He's 50 metres out. He's kicked 2 today. Jonathan Brown unloads. Hits out to the left. It's close. Hits the post.
And
second poster.
The inside of the post.
Oh, they couldn't get any closer. 3 goals the difference. Brisbane 12-15, 87. Essendon 10-9, 69. Rams scoreboard 13 and a half minutes.
That is a genuine fact. If ever you wondered what it was, it went inside the post. A long ball outside. Last roll of the dice for the Lions, but Ashcroft pumped it back inside. Here comes Moorcroft. He was taken hand past it, but Ackermanis has got it. Ackermanis is going to seal it all up by kicking a long goal. Touch. How about that? That was when the fat Sheila got off her backside and came in and nearly went. But just not quite yet. Don't write them off yet, but gee, they're hanging by a thread.
Fletcher's kick into Solomon effective. He takes the mark centre half back. Got to go Bombers. 14 minutes final term. And the scoreboard puts up the race results from race 8 at Moonee Valley. Not really important right now. Solomon towards midfield. Leppich! Over the top of Blumfield. Wonderful mark.
Well, he's got Jacobs. You've got to compete if you're going to win the game.
Good kick. Goes out wide. Brown. Oh, he dropped the chest mark. Maybe the sun in the eye again. Recovers. Goes short. Ackermanis, the Brownlow medalist, marks on 50.
Solomon's got to tighten up on Brown.
It's the run, Rob. It's the run in the legs of these Brisbane blokes. Lucas is shot, can hardly raise his legs, and the Brisbane boys are running on top of the ground at the minute.
Can the Brownlow medalist do it?
He'd be a chance to kick this. He'll have to kick at 54 metres, 45-degree angle.
Their lead is 19 points. 15 minutes final
just
term.
3 kicks in the first 3 quarters. Ackermanis, his 4th kick in the last quarter.
Has kicked 1 goal today. Fat lady warming up. This could be it. Ackermanis, the Brownlow medalist, hits the post. This is unbelievable. The football gods don't want Brisbane to win. Margin is 20 points. Brisbane 12-17, 89. Essendon not put away, not in the box yet. 10-9, 69.
Get out the back, you old Sheila. On the ball now. No, not you, Ferret. Now kicked outside there by Fletcher, the orange roughie.
Well, he's playing at half-back.
He's done it beautifully.
Now, if Essendon want to win the grand final, you can't afford to have Leppich at half-back without an opponent.
They've given the mark to Brown. I reckon Leppich had more of it.
I reckon he did, the orange roughie, but Brown, hasn't he lifted, and hasn't Solomon let him off the hook?
Where's the Ferret?
I don't know, who cares? The ball now on the right half forward flank, and Lynch is there. It'll be taken over close. It's picked up over there by Simon Black, and it's over the boundary line. Oh, it's empty. The fuel gauge says empty. They're just running on the smell of an oily rag, trying to get to the next service station. I reckon they'll run out of petrol.
Margin 20 points. Boundary throw in. Brisbane in attack. McDonald takes it. Oh, gets away. Handball to Boss. Throw-in, handball to Boss, on the run from the boundary line. The skipper made no mistake.
Captain's goal, Terry. They hit the post, they hit the post, they had chance after chance. The skipper did it when it was needed.
From the boundary line, it could just about get him a Norm Smith medal. The 2 ones, Hart and Boss, I reckon one of those 2.
And again, it was a ruckman. It was McDonald. No competition.
Richly deserved this young side. Here they go again. They're going to bury him now. Black, the little boy. Hart, how good's this for this bloke? Down to Dr. Christian Barnard. Ackermanis marks it. Ackermanis, the Brownlow medal, they'll now cream them. Ackermanis goes bang with a long ball down towards Lynch. Lynch has got it. He took the mark. The umpire said play on, but Pike goes in and kicks a ball into the arms of Fletcher, and it's over. They've got nothing left, Essendon. They are gallant, but they're spent. And the new power of the AFL is storming towards history today.
And we're going to give them more draft picks.
The good players are playing well, and
Why not?
That's all you want, is a team like that to be up and running and the good players playing well. Unlike Essendon, Hurd, Mercurius haven't quite a shot.
From the throw in, the ruckman miss it. McDonald wins it on the second go. Hurd ducks his head, is caught, will have a bounce.
I wonder when Robert goes into McDonald's at Cavill Avenue, whether the kid will offer him some tickets next year.
I think Hurdy will be a very happy man when this siren goes, because, I mean, he's given all he's got, but he just can't do it.
And look, Michael's loose, Leppich is loose across half-back. I don't think they can kick goals.
The weakness of Essendon in their dominant period of 3 years has been the ruck division. It's going to haunt them today.
It'll be just one flag from those 3 years. From the bounce, Alessio wins it down. Mercedes delivers wide to the outer side, looking for the boundary line. It finds it, throw in, stop the clock. 60 around from Brisbane's goal. Nearly reached 19 minutes of the final term. Brisbane by 26 points.
I just can't work it out. Essendon have got to win the grand final, yet they got. I don't know how they're going to do it. How they expect to get it through half forward.
3 loose players.
From the throw in, McDonald wins it down. Solomon spoiled his teammate Ackermanis. Handball boss to Power. He's kicked his third. The Power of Brisbane well and truly have it sewn up. 32 points their lead. 14-17, 101. Essendon 10-9, 69.
And that's why Jason Ackermanis won the Brownlow. There would have been a few people coming along who were sat through the first 3 quarters and said, hang on, what's going on here? He's just stepped up to the plate and gone bang.
Matthews has done a good job. He rested Ackermanis for about 8 or 10 minutes, come back on, has had an influence. Did the same thing with Lappin in the second quarter, and he had a dominant third quarter.
Now's the time you enjoy the grand final when you're in this position. Brisbane are home.
Fletcher going to full forward for the Bombers.
It's all over, Rob. They've got to go home now and say what a chance we had. We're underachievers. Now Alessio got it off down towards Carousella. They're all spent, marked by Smoke and Joe. And some of these legends of Windy Hill look a sorry sight. The new force starts to rampage home. Carousella gets it off a Scheisenhausen kick to Heffernan. Heffernan brings it across his body, but marked down there by Scott. Play on, he said, hand pass towards Malcolm Michael. And Mel Michael, how'd it be? He'd stay at Collingwood, he'd probably retire without a premiership, and now he's got one here. He's a premiership player.
And deserves one. He's been very good, Mel Michael, since he's come onto the ground.
Bombers deep in attack, boundary throw in. Alessio takes it, McDonald's got him, will have a bounce.
Everyone down there now.
It was good recruiting by Brisbane at the start of this year. They knew they were one key defensive backman down. They went out, got their man. They had to get rid of Malloy to do it.
And they got Pike as well, Terry. So the two of them, 2 experienced players, they've been invaluable for them this year.
Crowd already singing the Lions theme song. Security guards getting ready to ring the arena. Bounce, Bombers deep in attack. McDonald wins it down. Jason Johnson overruns it. Hard emerges, paddles to the boundary line. Blumfield knocks it along the line. Hurd on 50. Can he control it? The skipper handballed it inside, but it's all Brisbane. Ackermanis away. A bounce. Handball deflected away by Romanowskis. Handball to Carousella. Bombers a chance. Carousella to the 50. Rioli crunched by White. Ball goes to Jason Johnson. He's caught. Handballed away. Rioli. Handball to Mercury. All Brisbane. Michael Voss away. Handball to Black. Here they go.
They certainly do to the left half forward and Brown. He'll wait for Ackermanis and get it over the top, and Ackermanis marks it, and he'll go on and kick a goal from
Run
there.
past Scotty Lucas.
He'll go on and kick a goal from there, and he's making a statement. He'll say it's not important in relation to this team effort, but I'll show you why I won the Brownlow medal.
Symbolic that this bloke Ackermanis is running from one end of the ground to the other as Mercury runs off the ground. He didn't look right. I don't know if he is or he's not.
And how good's Brown been after half-time? Sensational.
Just gave him a hard contest at centre-half forward. A lot of them lifted Rex. Johnson, White.
Ackermanis from 40 metres out at the punt road oval end, and he's kicked a long goal. That's his second. Now they're driving it home. I think the scoreboard will be unkind to Essendon, but they're spent. The Brisbane Lions are home. This is history being made at the greatest ground in this known world. The Brisbane Lions are premiers for 2001.
Wolsey, you might get you just desserts yet. They're starting to get up towards that margin that you spoke about.
Oh, let's hope those people that gave you a hard time, Robert, are ringing in on the way home tonight.
Well, I said to Bondi, if Essendon win, we're not taking talk back.
Well, their supporters don't want to be around to see the final siren. Exits being flooded. A walkout. 23 minutes final term, 38 points the difference.
And the Brisbane supporters are giving it to them as they leave the arena.
Well, a couple being escorted by police. In the end, we won't get the close grand final. Maybe next year. Bounce back in the centre. We're underway once more. McDonald wins it down. Hart hacks it out of mid-air off hands. Chance Mercedes on the wing. Wants to feed a handball off to Barnard. Can't control it. Knocks it onto Jason Johnson. Rides the attempted bump of Pike by giving it to Barnard. Goes short, bad kick. Chris Johnson marks.
I'll just hold it up. Johnson's put his hand up. He said, let's slow it down. 24 minutes into the final term. They know they've got it.
He's been great, Chris Johnson. He has really come on as a footy player.
He'll go to the defensive goal square and find Chris Scott.
And this is what they love to do. I mean, it's taken a while, but they've got this game played exactly how they like to play it.
Scott to Lappin to Mel Michael on halfback. Big lion banner draped over one of the advertising hoardings as Michael goes to Black in the middle. They've got some run now. He could go all the way. 2 bounces, 3 bounces. Goal of the day for Simon Black coming up. No. Bounces to the right-hand side. A behind and the margin is 39 points. Scoring shots are 33-19. Brisbane 15-18, 108. Essendon 10-9, 69. Rams scoreboard.
So history being made here today. Fitzroy dissolved. Yeah, Peg's Dinger are dead. And the mark taken out there by Mark Johnson wasn't paid. Hand passed it off to Scotty Lucas. Essendon now filling in time before the siren, and it's marked by Bill Jacobs right in front of Tony Shaw at right half forward. He went up and he staggered like a cow walking into Bernie Lowry's dairy. It went on to Rioli. He hasn't fired a shot. He hasn't now, but he got it to Lloyd. And Lloyd now will line it up. And what disappointment for Rioli. Missed out last year, got himself fit this year. They rampaged towards the end of the season and then fell in a hole. He lost his great friend in Michael Long during the week of training, and now he's in a losing grand final. So it's going to be Lloyd. Lloyd has kicked 4 today, but he comes in from 51 metres and kicks his 5th goal. He's a champion. He's an absolute out-and-out champion. People just applaud a great champion today. He's 105th goal for the season, but Essendon are down the tube today.
He is a champion. You can just about pencil him in for 5 goals before the game, and that's what he's done.
Hasn't had any support down there though, Rob. Lucas early was superb. I think Lucas just ran himself into the ground in the first half. He can hardly raise his legs in the last half, but apart from that, nothing else down there to give him any support at all. They've been indifferent in their form all year, since particularly the last 6 weeks, and they're battling.
Glad Lloyd he didn't get 2 weeks at the tribunal. They would have been belted. Back in the centre, the ruckman share it. Mark Johnson crunches Lappin out of sympathy. There's no whistle. Lucas kicks towards the wing. The running Mercedes will gather it. Barnard to provide the shepherd into Hart. Mercedes kicks it to Ramanauskas. He'll go to Lloyd if he can get it to him. Leppich brings him down. No 50, says umpire James. Lloyd is now covered, so Ramanauskas 60 out has to wait. Wants to get it going quickly. 26 minutes gone. He pops it up to full forward for Alessio in front of McDonald. McDonald provides the fist. McVeigh runs onto it. Handball's back to Moorcroft. Powers got him. Moorcroft off to Hurd. Handball to Wellman running out of defence. Shrugs off Notting. 60 out. Good lead, Lloyd. And the kick goes to Lucas, who kicks a goal. Lucas has kicked his 4th. And if there are another 5 minutes to go, you'd say almost, but it's not going to happen. It's mere cosmetic surgery on the scoreboard. 27 minutes final term. It's a 27-point game. Brisbane 15-18, 108. Essendon 12-9, 81. That's the Rams scoreboard on 3AW as Martin Pike comes off, Tony Shaw. Thanks, Tony. Back to the boys.
Copeland coming on, and that's good to see. He started the game. He was the young fella who got that bad knock when Mel Michael jumped into his shoulder. I reckon Martin Pike's earned his money today, Gary.
Yeah, he's been good, Rob. He's come on, he's kicked a goal. He's certainly able to match up on some players that can be difficult, and well, he's going to be a two-time
premiership with two different clubs.
Exactly. If you can hear me now, I just said that Lee Matthews has gone berserk in the box. Right to this stage, you can see him, those two goals, he didn't want it to happen, and he just went ballistic in the box then.
Just wonder when he will come down, Essendon, get another free in the centre of the ground. Yeah. And Blumfield's got it, kicks it out to Lloyd. Lloyd marks it. But the man on the mark is the orange roughie, 51 metres out. Lloyd kicks it long, but he got under it a bit. It can't go all the way. Fletcher's there, and the football goes behind the stick. I don't know whether Lee will come down and throw his hands in the air like he did in 1990, but he's really got the Shizens at the moment.
He's normally got an equation, Rex. He reckons if he's more goals ahead than what the minutes are on the scoreboard to go in the game, he will walk down. That's what he did in 1990.
Well, he should start walking.
Chris Johnson to bring it back into play.
He's just such a competitive person, Lee. I mean, he just goes for everything right to the final. So some people are just destined for greatness, and he's one of those men.
Johnson goes out wide, good kick. Finds Scott.
What was he like to play with, Terry?
Oh, magnificent. I mean, he led by example. Very, very similar to Michael Voss.
Brad Scott on the boundary line. As Rowan Connolly wrote during the week, can you achieve immortality twice? He led Collingwood to the drought-breaking premiership, and now he's delivered Brisbane their first. Brad Scott towards the outer wing to a pack. Lucas being held off by Brown will get a free. Crowd not happy.
Green brain, Scott Lucas.
Yep, 29 minutes gone. Lucas up to half forward. Fletcher and Michael. It goes over their head, bounces near the line. Michael will see it over. Oh, that's silly. Pushed him in the back at a free kick.
Yep, he don't want to replaying that to his grandchildren. That was shocking. And Lethal's going absolute ape droppings in the box. And it's going to be Malcolm Michael. Well, he's got a premiership.
Couldn't imagine a better feeling in the world, let's just say, kids and marriage aside, just to cover ourselves, than the Brisbane blokes out there right now. That must be nirvana.
Well, I say a premiership is man's second greatest thrill. Going to the Melbourne Cup with your mates and drinking beer apparently is the best. The ball outside 50, and it came out lapping. How good's he been? He was dispossessed, and the umpire crosses himself. And that's umpire Martin Ellis. And in the shadows of this historical siren, this has been a day for Australian football to remember. Brisbane have come to the big smoke and have conquered all. And they've conquered what was regarded as one of the most powerful combinations in Australian football history. And now we're going to say that this great team Essendon are going to be underachievers. So on the right half-back flank, it's going to be one of the Scots. Bradley Scott. How can you pick him apart?
They look a bit different.
He's got his socks up.
One's got a 9-iron, the other one's got a 7-iron. I don't know.
One's number 5, the other's 22.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. As Ron said this morning, the difference between a goal and a point is 5 points. The ball now outside 50, and it was marked over there by Lynch. How good is that?
Now very fitting, Rex, that this fella's got the footy and played a pretty good game for him.
And there is a siren. The Brisbane Lions have created history in one of the great powerhouse stories. Here comes Lee Matthews. Brisbane Lions are premiers, and Lethal Lee comes down. He runs onto the surface. Genuinely regarded as the greatest player of all time.